Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 134 of Miami Dolphins content. Your boy CT and Bleezy in the building. We apologize for all the freaking technical difficulties, but we'll get back on it on the next time. Tonight, we're just doing some Throwdown Thursday. We're going to talk about all of mini camp this week and all the other stuff that's been going on. For those of y'all on Twitch, Twitter, and all that, come on over to YouTube, smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't, hit that notification bell. We're here every 8:30 on Mondays. We do impromptu shows throughout the week. This is, I think, our second impromptu, first or second this week. I don't even know. We've been doing so many lately. But yeah, what's going on, Bleezy? How in the hell are you doing on this Throwback Thursday?
What up, bro? We are officially 13 weeks away from the beginning of the NFL season. Ravens at the Chiefs. 13 weeks. Let's go.
Hell yeah, I can't wait for that. I cannot wait for it. Football is starting. We just got the end of mini camp. I mean, we've heard a lot of stuff going on with mini camp lately, and I mean, whether it's Tua and his stuff, Mike McDaniel, we're going to talk about Mike McDaniel's obsession with the number 24. We're going to be talking about what Anthony Weaver has had to say. We've heard from Butch Berry yesterday. There's a lot of stuff to go over. What is going on? Sports with 24/7 with Colin in the building. What's going on?
Yes, sir. What's up, fellas? Hey, it's a good day, man.
What's up, bro?
Not much, man. Just watching the Rays cruise.
Oh, snap.
There you go. Like we said, he's got to get his good team somewhere. Third time's a charm, right?
The Rays.
Hey, them Panthers are going to them Stanley Cup Finals, though. Get to watch them in 2 days.
Yeah, going down Saturday night.
In Miami, baby. Let's go. In Florida. Home ice advantage.
I wonder if that chick from Edmonton's going to be up in the stands. Did y'all see that video?
Nah.
No, I didn't see it.
Let me put it this way. They scored a goal in their last game, and she was wearing basically a jersey only. I can't believe y'all haven't seen this. With nothing underneath. And when they scored their goal, that jersey came up, and she was feeling the breeze, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. That's funny.
Yes,
that's
sir.
hilarious.
And there was cameras on. I mean, she was just sitting there smiling.
I mean, hey, it doesn't surprise me. It's a Canadian chick, so why does that not surprise you?
That's what I said. We need to have a spotlight on her for next game.
Unfortunately for her, playing against Bobrovsky, there ain't going to be very many goals scored by Edmonton. That's for damn sure.
Right.
Might have to get her into a Panthers jersey is more like it.
Yeah, might have to.
Anyway, but yeah, man, like I said, they wrapped up mini camp yesterday. Obviously, Mike McDaniel canceled today's practice, final minicamp practice. They did a walkthrough instead. I mean, which isn't atypical. What is not typical for me, especially thinking about, we've talked about the collective bargaining agreements and the off-season programs at length after the NFLPA's, trying to push this new proposal. But I thought it was very ironic that the Miami Dolphins only used 5 of their possible 10 practices this offseason throughout OTAs and minicamp Which tells me one of two things. Either Mike McDaniel's not concerned about the continuity on the field, or he's just trying to get his players a crap ton of extra rest. And I wanted to know what you guys felt about that.
Go ahead, Colin.
Hey, I'm fine with it, bro. Tired of the media is always on our backs, man. I mean, understand we have a big market, but it's just it's understandable because it's probably that some of these guys weren't gonna show up. So McDaniel just said instead of having the media get on us more, he's just saying to go ahead and cancel practice today.
See, but I feel like if that's the case, that's kind of copping out to the will of the players and the fact that what about the young guys? Maybe the young guys are the ones that need more on-field work, and now you're taking that opportunity away from them.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like that per se, if that's the reason. If
Right.
his flat out his reason is to give the players more rest, then so be it. I don't, I'm not going to argue with it, but yeah.
I'm not sure either. You said that basically he took it from a practice to a walkthrough. That's what happened.
Yes.
Maybe he's sticking a foot up their ass for some reason. Did you hear where he mentioned the other day that somebody asked him something about, I think, to his contract, and he said, "Look, I'm just trying to get our guys to go on the right snap count right now."
I did not hear that. I did not read his entire transcript.
He said that during his press conference when they, I think it was like the first one or second one, and he definitely said that, and you could tell he was like not kidding, and so who knows? Who knows what's going on?
Yeah, like I said, yesterday I spent quite a bit of time reading through a lot of the transcripts. But again, they had Anthony Weaver talking, they had Mike McDaniel talking, they had Butch Berry talking, Frank Smith talking, a bunch of other, positional coaches and stuff. And there was quite a bit of content to go through.
Yeah, no, I'm sure.
But I have read on and off today that Mike McDaniel spoke about his affinity for the number 24. Apparently, media has caught on to players talking about having 24s in meeting rooms. The times for staff meetings and player meetings have been changed. Instead of being on the dot, they'll start instead of 9:00, they'll start at 9:24. And people seem to kind of be curious and inquisical about it until they realize that he said, for you guys, it really doesn't mean anything. But for the Miami Dolphins and his players and his staff, he wants them to continue to be reminded of the 24 years it's been since we've won a playoff game. And I love that. I think that he said, again, they're not trying to run away from the narrative. They're not trying to run away from the narratives of winning at the end of seasons. They're not trying to run away from any of that stuff. And I really like that. I think the fact that he's purposefully putting the number 24 all over the place in all kinds of different methods, I like it. What do you guys think about that?
I like it. I think it's motivational. We'll see if we'll see how it works. I think it's some motivational, Jedi mind trick type shit that McDaniel is trying to, and it very well might work. It very well may set in. They keep thinking about 24. It's been 24 years. Might be a hell of a motivator.
What do you think, Colin?
I think it. I don't know. I guess you gotta manifest it, but bro, it's weak, man. It's kind of like the Bills, how they put that Super Bowl banner in their training facility just because they haven't won one and they want to motivate them to get one, bro. It's a bad look, honestly. So I'm not a fan of it, but
yeah, I can see where you're coming from.
But putting a banner up is much different than putting, the number 24 on a wall in a meeting room, or, making meetings start at whatever 24. I think that I kind of agree with Bleezy. I think, and again, at the most, it's not going to hurt anything. It's not going to make them try less. You know what I mean? So I think I think it at least gives them a constant reminder of what they're aiming for. What are we trying to do? What is our goal? Our goal is to stop that 24-year streak. And I kind of like it, man. I mean, it's not going to hurt anything.
I think he's doing that as a coach. We talked about this on the last show. He's trying to build a team right now. I think where Colin's coming from, it's a little more painful as a fan to keep hearing about that 24 and be reminded about that 24 as a fan. We don't really want to keep hearing about that.
And I completely understand, but I think that again, it's like he said, whether it be fans or players, if they're coming in and say again, we're in the first round of the playoffs, we know for a damn fact all we're gonna hear is, well, you haven't won one in 24 years. Yeah, you get there, but you haven't won in 24 years. Oh, you've gotten there 2 years in a row and you still haven't won one. So I mean, you're going to hear that narrative irregardless. Does that make sense?
No, it definitely makes sense, And so I don't know. Like Colin said, he probably didn't have to go that route, but whatever.
And like he said, though, I mean, Mike McDaniel said, quote unquote, running from or ignoring negative attention doesn't make it disappear. He'd rather just face it. It's going to be said by you, by your friends, or some media members come next December. Let's talk about it now. Yes, it's not what you want said about your team. You don't want it to be said. You can't finish. You can't do that. You don't want to hear that. But whatever. What if you heard you could? Does it change anything? So let's go attack it and let's go achieve something together. Okay. That's the reason why I bring it up. Just because I know no matter how much I tell people not to listen, it's impossible not to hear the noise coming in. There's always going to be noise. Whatever, just address it and let's do our job deliberately and with a mindfulness today that can be applied in the future.
Okay. So after hearing that tells me that he's trying to get a step ahead of all the BS talk that we're all going to hear in December about how many years it's been. It's almost like cutting off the pressure where they already know about that. So if people start talking about it in December or, late December, whenever, they're going to be like, we've been talking about that all year. We already know about it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of where I kind of...
Hey, the Lions didn't have to do anything like this, man.
Yeah.
I mean, but I think that, again, each team is different. Every person is different. Because do you think that on our team that there's not going to be guys who don't care either way, whether 24 is all over the place or not? It's the same thing. I think that whether or not the individual player recognizes it or takes it for what it's supposed to be doesn't necessarily mean that it doesn't improve or help someone else. And I think that's the difference between each individual player's mindset.
And so McDaniel obviously felt strong enough about it to implement it. So let's roll with it. See what happens.
That's true.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. But
jump on board with it. Kind of like Andy Reid when they're like, Coach Reid, you got to play a game every day of the week this year except for one day. And he's like, you know what? He said they can make the schedule whatever they want to make it. We can play any day, anytime, anywhere, and we'll be on board with it. I was like, hell, that's the right answer right there. He doesn't give a shit, man. He'll be on board with it.
Sir.
Yeah, I agree with it. And like I said, I don't think it's not going to hurt. So why the fuck not? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, roll with it.
yeah. And I think that, again, they continuously say how this team is, they're all in. They buy it. They're all in. I mean, obviously, it's helping somebody.
I can see how that could be motivational. You could be part of something that hadn't been done in 24 years, man. That would make you. That would kind of motivate somebody to
Light a
go out.
fire under their ass.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Hell yeah, and especially if you're that committed to your team and you're tired of hearing people talk shit about your team. Well,
Right.
maybe that's even more extra juice on
'Cause they
top
could
of
be-
being a part of something that hasn't been done in 24 years.
Because they could be like, well, shit, I hadn't been here for 24 years. But yeah, you got an opportunity to do something that has not been done for 24 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, I like it. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. But
Yeah.
I mean, to the extent that Colin says it kind of feels cheap, I mean, I'm not going to dispute that. But at the same time, if it gets the desired result, then what the hell does it matter?
We're on board.
That's true. That's true. But do y'all think it could be a bad thing? Because, I wouldn't want to join maybe a team if I know that I'm not going to win in the playoffs, maybe.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, enough can be said about no matter what team you join. I don't think that, that in itself is a determinate factor of how much effort you give.
I think you have to look at the team and how it's built, like right now.
I'm not saying right now. I'm saying if, let's say, we don't win any playoff game in the next 3 years, Tua is gone, Tyreek's gone, it's a whole new team in here, and now we're at 28 or 29 years without a playoff win, and then you're getting these, and then you're getting
we'll be doing the meetings at 29 after.
Yeah, pretty much. I guess if that's not, if Mike McDaniel is still here or if Chris Greer is still here, because one would hope if that's the case, then neither of them would be here. If 3 years from now we don't have at least one playoff win.
True.
So, I mean, then everybody will have, a new reason to cheer, be happy about a new regime and new possibilities.
That's what
Unfortunately, as Dolphins fans, you're always going to be here no matter how much they piss you off. And to the same extent, players are always going to be here because there's always going to be money to be made. So,
Pat Kerwin, old school GM, NFL GM, said it best. I think, for a team, especially in the NFL, you need to either win, you need to be winning, or you need to have hope. You know what I'm saying? That you're going to win, that you're going to be winning. And if you don't have either one of those, then you're out.
Yeah, I agree. So, I mean, I don't know, man. Like I said, I think that whether or not that focus or that obsession with 24 helps, it's not going to hinder you. I don't really see in any way motivationally how that hinders you. I think more so it's for the ones that'll take motivation out of it, great. For the ones that it really doesn't matter to, great. So be it.
It's like, I get the point, okay? Whatever. I'll show up at the meetings at 24 after. No big deal.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that, again, do you really think they give a flying fuck if it starts at 9 or 9:24?
No,
Probably fucking not.
Like I said, they'll get the point, and then they'll be done with it.
Yeah, maybe McDaniel should wear a jersey with the number 24 on it too.
There you go. I mean, hey, why the hell not?
Who's wearing 24 right now?
Isn't it one of the Washingtons?
I think that's Cam Smith.
I don't know. Is it?
Is it?
Let me Google it. Hold on. Nah, Todd Washington is 25, I think.
I think the running back from Tennessee is 25.
Or is he 24?
Cam Smith is 24. There you go.
Oh, Cam.
There you go.
I heard Cam's been balling.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've heard quite a bit about him doing well.
Green Rat.
He said maybe that Jet fan needs to stay sober. What is he talking about?
What you talking about, Green Rat?
But, yeah, man, I think that, again, he might be talking about Colin. I don't know. Anyway, I really think that, again, at the end of the day, irregardless, it really doesn't matter. And to be honest, I mean, other than an extra 24 minutes for them to go play on the ping pong table or whatever, I highly doubt they give a shit. So it is what it is, dude. It is what it is. So I'm all down for it.
Let's get that snap count down and let's start producing. Well,
that's interesting because I've been trying to let you talk. And I've been going through the transcripts to try to find that freaking quote by him, and I cannot find it. Granted, there's a crap ton of freaking transcripts. So
it was not today. It would have been yesterday's or the day before.
Okay. Because if that's the case, and we're still having issues with snap counts, granted, it is, essentially what, 4 or 5 days of on-field work. No, 5 days of on-field work. You would think that with the continuity we have, that you wouldn't be having that problem.
What's Green Rat saying over here?
I don't know. I'm trying to find that.
Hang on, I'll pull it up. Green Rat.
He said, "Oh bullshit, Cam has been getting smoked."
Penguin don't spread that. Damn.
I did hear that Jalen Waddle did burn him on one play.
Smoked by the Penguin. Waddle smoked Cam Smith. So
yeah, I heard that. Yeah,
Waddle smoking that Cam Smith pack.
Apparently, and I did hear that he got beat once by Waddle, and that Cam Smith and 2 other guys were in the area on a long bomb to somebody else, but
he's smoking that Cam pack.
Should be getting smoked by Waddle. Let's be honest. I mean, hey, he should be better. If you're getting smoked by Waddle and Hill all the time, you should be getting better, because that's like you're practicing against the best, so you should get better. I mean,
shit.
If not, he's just
hey, freaking what's his name? Splinter is in the building, baby. Splinter is in the building.
The enforcer.
Guy,
Splinter. That looks like
we have to stop spreading the false news about Cam Smith. I think there was only one paper down there in Florida and stuff that said that Cam Smith sucked, or said that he was good. The rest of them said he had a horrible day.
Uh-oh. Really?
I think it was like, what was it, Wednesday?
Because he was, well, evidently they put him on Waddle, and that's... that
didn't help, but I think Waddle was only in for a little while, but that's just what the Miami Herald and all the papers and stuff. Yeah. That's what they were saying, that he got smoked. Yeah. I was watching. I
don't know. Maybe that's
obviously Reason, and he sat there reading all the different papers that said what they saw at practice and stuff, because I believe it was open to the media and stuff. So
maybe that's what Fangio was seeing last year.
They just said he had a really, really bad day. So, which that's where you learn. So, I mean,
yeah.
And you're guarding Jalen Waddle, at times. So,
go out and get burnt.
That's what happens. So,
I don't know, man.
It's true.
I think, and then they also kind of made or said something that they didn't hear much out of Chop or Kamara or whatever the hell his name is.
Really?
Yeah, but I did hear that
didn't do
again.
anything that popped, during practice and stuff. So they said Poyer was playing pretty good because he got the orange jersey or whatever. So
Well,
I saw that.
Yeah, I remember Omar saying that, and a bunch of other people, Fuentes and Chris Perkins, talking about Shaq Barrett was looking good. What was the other one? Anthony, whatever it was, the other one we signed. That the two linebackers that we signed in the offseason, the vets, were looking pretty good. That even Channing Tindall got a couple plays where he had a tipped pass and then he got into the backfield to stop a run.
But that was I think early in the week or OTAs or whatever the hell, or not the mandatory ones. I think that's where Tyndall was in the underwear Olympics.
I think all of it's the underwear Olympics because there's no pads, period. But I swear, when Alan and Omar did a show on Omar's podcast, and that was Monday or Tuesday, they were talking about Channing Tindall. So I don't know.
I think that was the week before they were talking about how he was doing. I think they were just talking about it,
this
couple days
week.
after.
Yeah, they were talking about it this week instead of last week. Okay, yeah.
Right, and then I think this week, like I said, I didn't hear much of anything, to be honest. They said Hollins did okay. Like I said, Poyer had the orange jersey. And they talked about there was a linebacker they were talking about, but otherwise, a couple of the rookies were quiet. We got most of them signed, though.
Which is interesting to me, though, about Poyer having the orange jersey. Was that yesterday? Because obviously they did the walkthrough today, but I remember early in the week on that. I think it was.
So he had it on. So it would have been Wednesday.
Yeah, because I remember on Monday when David Fuentes and Chris Perkins did their podcast on, what is it, the Herald or Sunset, whichever fucking one they're with.
I know, I get confused too.
Yeah, I know. That they said that Poyer was playing extremely well in coverage. But when he was asked to take the running backs out of the backfield and or when spread out wide, that he was struggling mightily with their speed. So maybe he turned it around on Tuesday. I don't know.
If they're covering the backs, there's a reason he would be fucking struggling. You're talking A-chain and stuff,
Oh, I agree.
I'm just saying it was shocking.
Yeah, I agree. I was just saying I thought it was surprising that he would get the orange jersey after hearing that he wasn't doing so well Monday.
Being a Bills fan. I think that's...
Well, I haven't heard that came from David Fuentes and Chris. Yeah, that was David Fuentes and Chris Perkins. They talked about it. Now, again, they said the same thing that you would expect, especially an older guy, but also, a safety trying to cover A-Chain and Mostert out of the backfield. That's a tough ask for almost any safety. So I could agree with that.
It's a tough ask for a corner. Just ask Cam Smith.
Well, hey, talking about a tough ask, let's talk about how much of a tough task it's going to be for the Bills to win the division again without one superstar wide receiver. Because, we know that Josh Allen can't win a Super Bowl with a star receiver. So now they probably can't win the division without.
What do you mean? Bills have a superstar receiver.
No, Debo can't.
Yeah, they do.
Samuel is not that because
that's not their superstar.
Deebo Samuel's on the 49ers.
No, I said Curtis Samuel.
Oh, Curtis. Yeah, Curtis Samuel's washed up. MVS is washed up. Keon Coleman, the rookie, he's not anywhere near ready to be a star.
He's not number one.
Don't forget the Bills got the wide
receiver. Oh, it's the opponent's. Hey, it's the opponent's defense, which is the number one receiver for Josh Allen.
Well, hey,
well, that could be true, but that's not who their best receiver is.
Who is that then? Who is it?
Well, Chase Claypool. What the fuck are you guys thinking?
Well, that's who we just got rid of. That's what I was talking about, and that's
all I hear is how awesome he is.
Right now, yeah, and that's what their receiving corps is becoming a nationwide laughing stock because everybody knows Claypool couldn't even break our roster, and now all of a sudden he's making
a number one.
Yeah.
What is going on? The Dolphins realtor in the building.
Yes, sir.
Oh, gee. What's up, bro?
What's going on? But yeah, man, like I said, I think that, look, Claypool's been passed around like a freaking free whore, and he hasn't done shit for anybody. And again, out there and no pads and everything, great. Well, once the pads come on and he starts dropping balls like he was down here, they're not going to be singing the same praises.
I can't believe they would let Diggs go. You draft a rookie, but really don't do anything else except for Claypool.
Well, they added MVS.
I have to disagree. I think Claypool will play fine up there.
You think so?
He just ain't built to play on this team. I think he'll be a good fit in Buffalo.
We'll see. I mean, like I said, I know that he had the dropsies here quite a bit. So, but yeah.
That was about it.
There are a couple third down drops, too, on short passes where he bobbled the ball and it got knocked out, and then he bobbled another one. He dropped the touchdown in the end zone. I mean, they weren't all touchdowns.
One was the touchdown, but still, that wasn't the easiest catch in the world either. So, I mean, and you haven't been used all fucking year. I mean, guys are human too. So.
Oh no, and I understand that. I'm not saying he's trash. I'm just saying when he drops a pass from Allen, they're going to fucking turn on his ass real quick. That's all I was saying.
That could definitely happen.
Oh, absolutely. But, I mean, they brought VS in. I mean, granted, he's not what he was in Green Bay, but he's still a decent wide receiver. Curtis Samuel, again, it's not like he was when he was with the Jets. So, I mean, you got a bunch of, number 3 mediocre receivers. So be it. If that's the way you want to run it, then go for it. So, I don't know.
Look at Realtor. Yeah, much better. Let Josh just drill it in there for him.
You said it'll be much better for Claypool to catch a 100-mile-per-hour laser, which is much easier to catch.
Yeah.
Instead of an accurate freaking ball
coming in.
The problem with Claypool is his routes weren't crisp. So there is a point of a stronger arm throwing the ball to him that's going to get there a lot faster. Yeah. And he's not throwing to the so-called certain area where he's expected to be. Josh Allen can throw it more to the player, not
throw it at his fucking face mask so he's forced to catch it.
Yes. Yeah, slam it in his face mask.
Unless it's Gesicki, and then that's when he drops him.
They're going to get him one of those new face masks, man, with a big gap. Just drill it right in there.
Here he is, Amicus, to tell us how the Bills are going to win the Super Bowl without a star wide receiver.
Now let me change everything I just said. The Bills fucking suck, Claypool sucks, and Josh Allen sucks. Now that we got that out of the way.
What's going on, Amicus?
What's going on, fellas? Chase Claypool, my favorite Bills player right now. Love it.
Really?
Oh man, we got to copy and clip that one.
Yes, he's killing it in camp.
Okay.
Damn.
Talk to us.
In underwear, but yeah,
Spidey out on the hammock. Yo,
He just needed a good quarterback.
Yes,
that's all.
Spidey in the
Yes,
web.
sir.
Spidey webbed up.
Yo,
I
shit.
see you. I
That's
see
what
you.
it is. Yes, sir.
Okay. But no, so Amicus is a big Claypool fan now.
I don't know much about him. I know he had a good rookie season with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He sucked for y'all. What was it, like 4 catches on 7 targets?
Yeah.
4 on 7, I believe he went. Didn't he go to Cleveland? And he was Cleveland for a couple years where he sucked there.
He got he got more than that on the first day of OTAs, man. Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. I use that fucking guy.
He was in Pittsburgh and then he was in Chicago.
Yeah.
Or Chicago, yeah. It was one of the C fucking cities. I couldn't remember.
Amicus, that's because we got a bunch of thoroughbreds in that.
Hey, fair enough. You know, maybe he'll get an actual seat at the table on this Bills offense. But I will say that I forget the cat's name, but some reporter, national reporter, not like a TV personality, but like a real newspaper columnist or whatnot, was on one of the shows today, and he came out with his rankings of the best offenses in the league, and he had the Bills at number 7, and they were asking him why he had them so high, you know, considering that we lost Diggs and whatnot, and he broke it down way better than I could, but he eloquently stated that there's no like so-called number 1 in Diggs, but Allen proven last year in the second half winning the division by spreading the ball around that this offense is going to be clicking on all cylinders. We got the right pieces, we got size, we got speed, and there's no pressure to get it to one guy. So I think all of you Dolphin fans might be a little surprised at how well this offense is once we get started in the season.
Okay, CT, I have this one. Amicus. We don't care about any of your guys that you hear from Sports Illustrated or anywhere, due to the point after looking at Nick Wright's fucking list of the best quarterbacks, and he has the fucking Bears quarterback at number 5 in the NFL and hasn't even fucking played yet.
Nick Wright's a fucking idiot.
From anybody. I don't want to hear lists from anybody ever again. I'm just saying.
Well, Nick Wright is a TV personality.
Oh,
This was an actual like analyst, columnist, some guy.
So why is Michael K saying nope that Allen was horrible on Tuesday?
Because he hates Allen. But he's going to read the same article that I read from Bill's camp or from OTAs where the offense struggled on 11-11. That's fucking part of OTAs. That's part of camp, man. Everybody's going to eat some days and not other days. Like, they're doing fine. They're clicking on all cylinders. Go ahead and listen to a Josh Allen hater if you want the real deal about how OTAs are going. Good job. Good job.
I heard another thing about another
Cleveland. He said nope was the Cleveland. Yeah, my bad. Like I said, it was one of the C teams.
Oh, my bad. And I apologize to Mikey. I thought that's your fault, CT. He
said Allen was horrible on Tuesday.
Yeah.
But he said no to the Cleveland thing.
Okay, that was an exaggeration of horrible on Tuesday. He got intercepted by somebody, but that's what OTAs are, man. He tried to. If you read the article, which I'm sure he did, then you know that Allen tried to, rifle one in there. That's what you do, bro. Do you remember like last year the shit that Tua was doing? Remember when he was like throwing like a lot of interceptions and whatnot, and people were freaking out, and everybody like nationally was saying that's what you do at OTAs. You do the things that you would normally do in a game to see if you can pull it off. It's practice basically. So get the fuck out of here with a bad what on Tuesday? A practice? A bad practice on Tuesday. The fuck out.
He said it was
God
horrible.
damn it! I hate to have to agree with you, but yeah, you're right.
I agree. I agree. Just as long as it doesn't translate to the game.
Well, I
But
mean,
it's Josh Allen we're talking about. Like, come on.
I mean, it is going to translate to the game. Sorry.
Tasker and Brownie said Allen was horrible. Ooh, Bills on Bills crime.
Damn. He said, I listened to One Bills live. Tasker and Brownie said Allen was horrible.
Yeah, that's not true. Whatever.
Okay.
Well, if it's how Tasker does broadcasts and stuff, he's a fucking liar during NFL broadcasts. So I don't know if I would believe anything that guy said.
I don't even fucking listen to them fuckers on the broadcast, so I can't tell you either.
Did y'all hear?
Yeah, well, listen, they just had a report come out, like, for the OTAs and what's been going on, and everything's been positive. I mean, Allen's been clicking really well with Keon Coleman. Kincaid is doing Kincaid shit. He's going to take a big leap this year. But the biggest news, I mean, besides, like, Ray Davis looks really, really good. Dwayne Carter, the defensive lineman, looks really, really good. But how can Amicus talk without what? Yeah. But Chase Claypool, man, like, he's really people are impressed. So I'm excited.
The only part that I heard opposite was that him and Coleman weren't hooking up very good. But
Coleman's a rookie. There's going to be
that's what I'm understanding. But from what I understood, it's not. I'm not saying it's going bad, but they're saying there's a little struggle there. So
like on the first day that was reported, but like just the other day, the other day, like a couple of days ago, it was reported that Coleman bodied like two guys and just completely dominated them and was very, very physical, caught a couple of really impressive catches. So you know how it is, man.
That's because you don't have Poyer back there anymore.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. Here we go.
Yeah.
Hey, now I want to ask real quick before we go back to Dolphins topics real quick is, did you guys do all three of your afforded mini camp practices?
To my knowledge, we did. I mean, I didn't hear anything. Why? What do you mean? Did the Dolphins like cut one short or something?
Yeah. So Mike McDaniel ended up canceling today's final OTA or minicamp practice, and they did a walkthrough instead, where it's not unusual to happen. Shit, even the asshole Joe Philbin canceled the last day of minicamp and took the fucking team to, what was it, Dave and Buster's. Another guy canceled one and took them bowling. Another coach canceled one and took them to the movies. Like, it's not unheard of. I was just curious if you guys actually did all three of your on-field practices, just kind of out of curiosity.
Yeah, I mean, to my knowledge, we did. I didn't hear anything about any canceled practices or anything. It's happened before in the past. Like I think that happens every once in a while, right? Where coaches give guys the day off or whatnot.
Well, it wasn't canceled. It was changed to a walkthrough.
Well, yeah. I mean,
so they were still there.
Yeah.
So,
well, yeah, and I'm not saying that part of it. I was saying as far as like the on the field work, because as I brought up, and we've talked multiple times, what's going on, Michael? Okay, we'll get to you in 1 second. I just want to finish this point. Is we talked about the NFL and the PA, trying to change the offseason with their proposal that's forthcoming and whatnot. And it was just interesting that Miami, and an article had stated that there are also 17 other teams in the league that have used less than 6 of the afforded 10 on-field practices that the NFL Players Association and the collective bargaining agreement allows. And I just wanted to know if you guys were in that same boat where, I mean, if you have 10 on-field practices given, fuck, I'm taking at least 8 of them. At least 8. To take 5, I think, is kind of frustrating for me. But what's going on, Michael?
No, and the Bills mini camp is until the 11th.
We're talking about OTAs.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you guys don't do your mini camp until next week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
but
okay.
speaking of OTAs, this is the headlines as of a day ago, right? And this is a simple Buffalo Bills news prompt in Google search. Even you, Mikey, I think you could even pull this article up. It says Chase Claypool is the most consistent wide receiver at camp, and to buy your Claypool stock right now. And that Von Miller, for the first time in a year and a half, is actually flashing like the old Von Miller. I didn't realize he had to wear a brace last year, but the brace is off, and he's bending just like he did when he was that badass motherfucking defensive end edge rusher that we all know and love. So let's go, baby. Let's go.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So,
hey, well, since I'm up here now, let me give you a little tidbit of Bills information.
Yeah.
Without a hog in his mouth, by the way.
I honestly, and this is my opinion, I honestly don't think Kincaid is going to be the number one receiver this year.
Oh, I hope not.
He's going to be your number one. He's going to be your number one tight end.
And let me tell you why. He actually had almost a catch or a target less a game than when Dorsey was in charge of him. When Brady took over, they didn't throw him the ball as much.
Yo, CT.
Yo.
Did you hear the breaking news?
Which one?
Supposedly Xavier Howard supposedly sent pictures of some kid's mom to some young boy, like revenge porn. He sent pictures of a girl he was screwing, and he sent it to her son.
Damn. Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Mike,
Dolphin on dolphin crime. Let's go.
Mike, did you hear about that?
No, he's not a dolphin anymore, Amicus. So it's not dolphin.
I'm talking about the panel. Y'all are about to disagree on this. I can feel it coming. So let's go.
I don't give a fuck.
I just brought it up. Ex-Dolphin star sent woman's son revenge porn court filing.
Yeah, Xavier Howard is a free agent right now.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about that, and he was washed up anyway. But I want to talk a little bit. You guys were bringing up Coleman and Claypool and all that, and we weren't lucky enough to see Waddle, Hill, or OBJ in minicamp. However, the stuff that did come out of minicamp, Waddle did participate in some 7-on-7s as well as Tua, but Tyreek did not participate in 11-on-11s or 7-on-7s. He did do individual drills and stuff like that. But I think it was awesome to hear. And not that, again, it's the end-all, be-all. But OBJ out here snagging shit like a freaking boss. They were throwing shit around, and he was just snagging them left and right with one hand, just fucking around. And I'm sorry, but if you guys try to double freaking Tyreek and bracket Tyreek or double Waddle or bracket Waddle, and you got OBJ underneath, and then we get one of these running backs out of the backfield, it's going to be a fucking nightmare for you guys. Just saying.
The way we play defense is built to defeat the Dolphins. So good luck.
Okay. I can't wait for it.
Do you realize that? What?
Wait, didn't you have Tyreek and Waddle and A-Chain last year?
Yeah, exactly, Mikey. You lost 2 games to us last year. You lost both of them. And now you're talking like you're world beaters. Like, stop. The Bills fucking own you. So just get over it.
Bro, we don't have our third wide receiver.
Hold on, CT.
Yeah.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
I was just saying, look.
I think you're muted, Spidey.
Oh, that was Spidey? I thought that was Colin.
Nah, it's Spidey.
What's
But
up, Spidey?
yeah, man, like I was saying though, you keep saying that, but you're telling me that you believe that River Craycraft or the year before that in Crossan or Cedric Wilson, who couldn't get on the field, are anywhere close to OBJ, you're out of your fucking mind.
No, that's not what I'm
fucking
saying,
Bills fan.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is everything you're saying is pure fucking conjecture until you do it. The fact is, you haven't won a playoff game in 20-something years. You haven't won a division in God knows how long. We've won it 4 fucking years in a row, including last year when you had a 3-game lead. So don't get arrogant and cocky about a washed-up OBJ playing wide receiver for your team. It means nothing until you actually fucking do it.
And like I said, again,
I'm sorry.
Super Bowls, again, we've won a fucking Super Bowl, multiple Super Bowls, and you guys haven't won a single one. I think your Super Bowl drought is longer than ours, so I'm not concerned about that. But go ahead, Spidey.
Let me ask you this: Were you excited when they won those? Were you excited when they won those Super Bowls?
It was Keon Crossan. That was the cornerback. I meant who was it? The other receiver. It was.
Don't forget about Jonnu Smith.
Damn it! I can't. Oh, that's Jonnu Smith.
Yeah, no, it was Keon Crossan was a cornerback. What was it was the other wide receiver.
Hey, Cedric Wilson.
No, it was Cedric Wilson. But then we had before that we had the other one. It was one of them went to the Bills and didn't do shit apparently there.
Oh, Chosen Anderson.
No, that's Robbie Anderson. No, he didn't go to the. No, it was River Craycraft and the other one.
Sherfield.
Trent Sherfield. Sorry, there you go. Fuck.
CT. Hey, Mikey had a good point. CT, do you remember where you were the day the Dolphins won the Super Bowl? Like, what part did you go to? What part did you go to?
But that's fine, and neither were you. So
if you look,
I would have been 1
year.
Can
I say something?
I would have been almost 1 year old in Memphis, Tennessee, loving every bit of it.
I was
wearing a Bob Greasy.
Go ahead, Spidey.
I was just saying. Look, sorry, because I got disconnected. I have connection problems, but anyways, look who we added to this team. We added receivers that can beat man coverage. Guys like Tosh Washington, guys like Malik Washington, guys like Odell Beckham Jr. Who did very exceptionally well against man coverage last season. And we got guys who have very good hands. Guys who can create separation, guys who are not afraid to catch over the intermediate part of the field in traffic, guys that can be dependable on third down. And then when you try to play, cover 2, or you try to bracket Tyreek, we got guys underneath that can eat up in those light boxes with Rashad, with fucking what's his name? With H-Han and fucking Jonnu Smith. They're gonna destroy you guys. We're gonna destroy you guys underneath. So you think you guys can just like play us the way you guys did back in the day? That's just not happening, bro. Try to play some.
But you say it every year, Spidey. For the past 4 years, you've said the same thing. It's
when the Dolphins ran the ball effectively, and the defenses were stacking the box, our team was top 5 in the NFL at EPA per attempt. We were very efficient moving the ball down the field because we can attack the intermediate areas on the field. Now that they try to play that cover 2 high on us, that man coverage, you can't. Because now we got fucking Odell Beckham Jr. playing on the outside, right? We can play with Jalen Waddle more in the slot and interchange these guys. And it's like this is not going to be the same Dolphins offense you guys have faced in the past. I'm sorry.
Listen, man, I believe you, Spidey. I believe you, but I've heard it before, so you just got to do it. I mean, I know this is the best time to get hyped up because it's 0-0 right now. We're tied in the division, but let it play out.
Yeah, and I agree. But to say it's conjecture that we won't is conjecture in itself. So,
Well,
And
this is going on in recent
fucking point.
history.
let me tell you something. This year it's going to be a little bit different because of this special teams rule on this kickoffs. I've said it in the past.
Yep, none more of that bullshit.
One of the
Tell them,
keys
Bleezy.
One of the keys to winning a Super Bowl is dominating special teams and turnovers.
Absolutely.
And
That's
we
one
could
of the
be
reasons why we lost
fucked.
that fucking game week 18.
Yeah. And so this year, the way the special teams are set up and the way our team is built, that's what's going to give us the advantage this year.
Disadvantage.
You're right. Exactly.
Yeah, it
Green Rat, what were
depends
you
on
talking
how
about?
much fucking Crossman, the fucking special teams coordinator, can figure this shit out. He
So you're
couldn't
telling
figure
me
out.
that son of a bitch is going to be able to figure that shit out when he
Green
doesn't
Rat.
even know how to cover a fucking kickoff? Are you fucking
Exactly.
kidding me?
Green Rat.
Exactly.
McDaniel's going to be a little
Real
more
quick.
hands-on on that deal. I
Green
promise.
Rat.
Yeah, but see, the
What
problem
were you
with that,
telling me?
Bleezy, is this, and my bad, Spidey, but my issue with that is if
Nah,
that's
you're
the
good, bro.
case,
Sorry.
why in the fuck not fire Crossman to begin with and fucking get a real goddamn special teams coordinator?
I mean, it's going to come down to the players. We got the players to make the shit happen. They could draw up the scheme. You know,
You had the players last year.
no, not for yeah, but they didn't have the special team rule implemented last year. This thing's crazy as shit.
He's talking about the new kickoffs.
Yeah, the new kickoff rule, man. That shit's gonna be wild, man.
It's going to be fun. Can't wait.
It is, and we're built for it.
The funny thing is, and I hate to say this, and I'm knocking on wood right fucking now, and it's not just for Dolphins, because I said this all the way back when they first announced it. They want to make it more exciting until more of these players get fucking hurt, and they're going to reverse course so fucking quickly, it's not even funny.
I don't think they will.
You don't like the new.
I think the kickoff thing is fucking stupid. They're making fucking the NFL into a gimmick, kind of like NASCAR when they went to the points shit at the end of the year.
Yeah, the Cup
Green
Series.
Rat.
It's a gimmick. It's gonna
Green
ruin.
Rat. Let's just be
said that
honest.
they
They
pulled
just
the
want to
plug
score.
on it.
The Dolphins, Bleezy, they just said the Dolphins. Excuse me. The NFL is more concerned about scoring points. You remember the reports that they were concerned about the dip in scoring and all that shit. It's all about this. It's the same thing with the hip drop tackle.
Yeah, but
it's the
that
same
was
thing
my
with
whole
the hip drop
point.
tackle.
That's my whole point, Spidey, is you want to say you're about preventing injuries and having less injury, but then at the same time, you're creating rules to quote unquote create more excitement. But in reality, and it was funny, and I got to find it again, and I will find it again. There's an actual fucking published peer review article speaking about the old XFL kickoff rules and how, yes, did it reduce concussions? Yes. However, it increased soft tissue injuries. So,
well, they real quick, they did say if it doesn't work out this year, they'll pull the plug on it and go back old school.
And I agree, and that's all I was trying to say though is when I saw that article and I had a friend of mine send it to me and he was like, check this out. And I really do think that if that's the case, because again, I went through the freaking abstract. I didn't read the entire fucking paper, but I did read the abstract. And if that's the case, yeah, you reduce concussions by around 11%, but soft tissue injuries increase by around 23 to 24%. When teams are starting to lose major players as a result of this, and it then lessens the points scored in in the regular offensive and defensive area of the game, they're gonna fucking reverse course on that shit real quick.
Exactly. You say because there's people that play special teams they provide depth or they're starters. They play on special teams.
Hell yeah.
And they provide depth on the defense as well. Like Jalen Phillips, right? Like guys like Andrew Van Ginkel in the past provided us.
Yeah, but I was
They were
saying more
starter
so
rotational
like,
guys, but they play special teams.
but more star receivers, star running backs, where the overall arching theory that I've heard from multiple coaches that are the special team coaches that have actually kind of given their legit input on what they feel like it's going to turn into is essentially there's going to be a shitload of fast guys and a bunch of linemen on the line of scrimmage, and they're going to hope to fuck that the fast guys are going to be able to outrun the linemen until one of these linemen end up fucking falling on them and fucking hurting them.
Yeah.
Then it's going to hurt your offensive production and your defensive production when you have star players getting injured. And I think the NFL is going to reverse course real fucking quick.
So CT, what was the abstract in general? Like, was it?
So the abstract stated again, and it's just a short summary of their metadata analysis has shown that in the XFL, the rule was originally intended to reduce the occurrence of concussion, which it did.
Right.
It reduced the occurrence of concussion by 11%. However, it increased soft tissue injuries by 23.8 or some ridiculous fucking number like that. So essentially 24%. So what happens when these guys get soft tissue injuries and they miss 2 or 3 weeks at a time based on one play on special teams, and that affects a team's ability to score points on the offensive side of the ball, or for that matter, relatively speaking, the health of superstars on teams, that's going to start affecting how many points offenses are scoring, and it's going to affect, fans who really go to player watch, not to be there for the team, but player watch. It's going to affect your bottom line there, and that's going to be a negative impact on the league when the resolution is saying they're doing it because they want to reduce the occurrences of concussions, but at the same time, you're changing the kickoff rule to make it more exciting and score more points. Well, okay, you may score a few more points on kickoffs, but if these guys get injured and overall in the game you're scoring less points, it's going to be less entertaining for fans.
I mean, that does make sense.
Not only that,
they're not hitting as hard because they're not running downfield and getting concussions, but they're in a tight spot trying to cut and be on precision, and then they're
but Bleezy.
Yeah.
But real quick, you got to remember, this is not the XFL, right? Or UFL, whatever the fuck it's called now.
Right.
This is the NFL. Guys are much faster. They're more explosive.
But the UFL, does not use the XFL's old kickoff rule. The current league does not use that kickoff. They have a completely different system.
So the NFL introduced something that's been scrapped already. Is what you're trying.
Pretty much, pretty much.
It's abandoned. So again, CP, I think what you're trying to say is if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And the NFL did just that.
They did, but
if you want to fix concussions, get rid of the kickoff.
Well, I'm saying it's going to work in our favor, guys.
That too.
That's what I'm saying. It's going to work in our favor, man.
It works in our favor until one of our fucking star athletes get hurt.
I think this has got A-Chain written all over it. I think that's who I want back there.
Well, if you're willing to take the shot, I don't know. If you're willing to take the shot,
show me durability with A-Chain before you start fucking throwing him in all.
Exactly.
That's why we have Malik Taj and Barrios for that shit. I don't want any of my star receivers doing that shit. No returning. Nope.
Okay. So we're gonna put one of the rookies back. Maybe that's why we
unless it's at the end of the game and we
they return in college. They were returning. They were kick returners, punt returners, and they were. Taj Washington was a fucking was a gunner. So, but both Malik and Taj Washington were both returners. So, I don't want none of my receivers, none of my top three involved in that.
Or A-Chain.
or
A-Chan, hell
Mostert
no.
for that matter, or Mostert,
Or
fucking
Jalen Wright.
yeah.
Or Jalen Wright. Fuck
Yeah.
that. I ain't gonna have Jalen Wright. Hell no.
That's crazy. It'll be interesting.
I just thought when I saw that article and the fact that it's peer reviewed, so we know that the data set and we know that the research is agreed upon. The percentages are extremely telling. And yeah, again, if your purpose is to reduce concussions, then again, you are successful. But along with that success comes detriment. And like you said, Spidey, the fact that the UFL, the whatever, that merger, they scrapped that shit. They changed it completely. Right. So
it probably doesn't fucking work. They know it doesn't work. That's why they scrapped it.
Hey, I don't mean to interrupt, but I was just reading the UFL rules. Get this one, alternate possession option. While onside kicks are allowed at any time during the game, teams will have an alternate option to retain possession in the fourth quarter. If a team is tied or behind during the fourth quarter, it may elect to retain possession after the score with a 4th and 12 from its own 28-yard line.
Yes, I do. I do remember seeing that.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that, CT? That I think that was proposed in the NFL at one point.
No, it wasn't a 4th and 12. It was a 4th and 15, and I believe it was from the 30-yard line.
That's exactly it.
And I believe it was from the 30-yard line, which would mean you would have to get to the 45-yard line, your own 45-yard line to get a first down. But the thing is, and I get it. I mean, hey, if you're willing to take that risk, I think it's not a bad idea because even if you fail and you let them kick a field goal, you get the ball back, you can go score a touchdown. So if you're only down by, say, 3 points, why the fuck not? Not only does it give you an opportunity to stop them and kick a field goal and you have time, but it saves time because they're not going to drive the length of the field and then kick a field goal.
Right. So this is instead of doing an onside kick. Am I correct?
Yes. But Mike said, though, it's only allowed in the fourth quarter if they're tied or behind.
Okay. So can you convert on the 4th and 15 to a first down? Or that's just like one chance?
That's how
you get one chance.
Crazy. That's
y'all were talking about crazy. That thing in the in UFL.
That's actually safer, by the way. CT. That's actually safer.
I think it's absolutely a shit ton safer. But the only issue with that is it is also in that same aspect, like Mike said. Though there is no in the USFL or the UFL, whatever the fuck they call it now.
UFL.
It's the UFL. Yeah. There are no surprise onside kicks. You have to declare it before you do it. So if it's not in the fourth quarter, you don't have that option. So, it's not like, coming out in the second half, oh, let me surprise them with an onside kick. Like, there is none of that.
Is the NFL thinking about the 4th and 15 as an onside kick?
No, they did 2 years ago. It was brought up. I don't remember if it was the Broncos or the Raiders, but
it was proposed.
Yeah, it was proposed by the Broncos or the Raiders. I can't remember who it was, but they proposed it, and that shit the only team that voted for it was the one that proposed it.
Yeah, probably the Buffalo Bills. I mean, we can do 4th and 15. Listen, that's stupid because onside kicks in general, what is the percentage of success? It's extremely low.
Oh, less than a fucking percent.
Yeah,
it's less than a percent.
15 thing ever got passed, Miami will never win another fucking game.
4th and 15 would be converted at least 35% of the time at the NFL.
Everybody converts 4th and 15 plus. On Miami, 99% of the fucking time.
Yeah. Well, that was
shorter distances that you can't get.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah, especially when you got fucking Boyer and fucking what's his name from last year, Fangio. Yeah.
Can you imagine with a 4th and 15 how many go routes there would be? I mean, You listen. The onside kick is just to get the ball back, but a 4th and 15 rule would create a lot of 60-yard touchdown passes, I would think, because everybody would be coming up to try to protect that line.
Yeah.
Well, no, it would be more of like a prevent type thing.
Yeah.
But no, prevent, you give up 15 yards, man.
You can still give up 12 or 13.
I think a lot of that would have to come down to, in reality, though. I don't necessarily disagree with you, Amicus, but I think that in those situations, you would see a shit ton more fucking quote unquote Hail Marys, or with one or two guys splitting off to, having 4 guys run down the field and draw the coverage back, and then have one guy running fucking loose somewhere. You know what I mean? Hoping that one guy is going to be able to find a soft spot to get the first down. I think at some point, though, even in that aspect, I mean, yeah, does it make it safer as far as concussions on onside kicks? Yes. Now, granted, they did say that, and I remember us talking about this on the old channel, the statistics on getting a concussion in an onside kick are virtually nil compared to a regular kickoff. So I don't really see where the benefit is to eliminating the onside kick, other than to create excitement.
I got the last
returns.
I got the last 10, the percents in the last 10 years. Now you got to remember, the last 2 years they changed the rules where they couldn't line up heavy on the side. They had to have five aside of the kicker.
Yeah.
So from starting at 2013, it was 18%, 10.3, 14.9, 11.1. 2017 was 21.4, almost one. Well, it was 1/5. 7.7, 12.9, 4.4, 16.1, 5.3, and 5.2.
Is that on
What
onside
percentage is
kicks?
Yeah, that was on onside
that recovery rate? Is that
Right.
the
So the
recovery
past
rate?
2 years have been 5%. That sounds right.
That's the recovery rate, correct?
Boom. I'm lost.
Just a successful onside
Okay,
kick.
Okay. So
that's one out of every 20 onside kicks is successful.
Pretty much.
Right, but like a 4th and 12 rule, like in the UFL, it's going to be a lot higher than that.
Oh yeah.
And that's where I was saying, I don't think it's a safety thing for them trying to eliminate the onside kick. I think it's just more of the competitive, make it more interesting, make it more.
You're 100% correct, because there's nothing more exciting in the NFL than a 2-minute drive to win the game. You know what I mean?
Or a do or die. Or, 4th down, do or die.
This is what's on their website right here, as far as the rule change. In a nutshell, kickoff rule adjustment to create a new form of free kick play that's designed to resemble typical scrimmage play by lining both players closer together, blah, blah, blah. Promote more returns. They're trying to get big plays. We're just
I don't think it has anything to do with the concussions. But speaking of concussions, you mentioned it, CT. I'm just curious if Tua bulked up a little bit to prevent the whole concussion thing, and he went last year without any concussions, and now he lost like 50 pounds, and he looks like he's dying. I'm just wondering if you're a little concerned that the concussion bug might come back.
He lost 15 pounds.
And no, I'm not, because I even told you last year, prior to the start of the season, prior to him, quote unquote, bulking up, prior to jiu-jitsu and all of that, I told you that number one, the occurrence of his concussions were very much related to MOI, the mechanism of injury. Not anything that he could have done in an instance to try to prevent that. Cat for life in the building. What's up, Cat?
What is mechanism of injury? I've never heard that terminology.
So mechanism of injury is either
layman terms.
Okay, sorry. How it happened. Okay,
there you go.
How
Thank
it
you.
happened. So, in that instance, number one, whether it's someone swinging you down over top of their body with your inability to put your hand out or shoulder out to try to, when you're being whipped down, you have two options as a quarterback, especially if the ball's in your hand. You can put the ball in your other hand and try to use your arm, what's called fooshing, falling on an outstretched hand, to try to break your fall. However, as a quarterback, you're taught not to do that. Why? Because fooshing can create broken bones. You can snap your freaking or your radius or ulna. You can create damage to.
What's the radius ulna?
The radius and ulna, they're the two bones
Fucking
in your.
arm.
They're the two bones in your lower arm.
It's an arm.
Yeah, come on.
So again,
we didn't lose the amicus. We didn't lose the amicus. Oh, okay.
No, but you have the propensity to damage your rotator cuff. There's so many things in the foosh aspect that it's better just to tuck your fucking chin, hit your shoulder on the ground. Now, in the way that in which Tua was whipped down, especially in the Cincinnati game, he was literally, when he was whipped and pulled over the top of the player, he was literally going straight back. There was no angle in which he was being whipped down. So there was no ability for him to try to turn and use his shoulder to cushion that impact, even slightly.
Yeah.
And
but
so
CT,
the only
wasn't that. Oh, sorry.
He won't be able to absorb those blows now, being not as bulky. You know, I mean, I'm a little worried he might get a concussion.
See, but that's an issue with, and I'm not being a dick, but it's ignorance of. You do understand that somebody half my size can fucking lift a shit ton more than me. Size
no, I don't understand. Can you explain it to us? I don't understand. Can you explain it?
Cross-sectional diameter of a muscle fiber has nothing to do with its strength. Okay? So you, as an individual, we've all seen them, and I hate to say this because if Colin's still here, I don't think he is, but there was a fucking dude at a Rays game back in the day, and he's really famous. The dude was fucking jacked, but the motherfucker couldn't open a fucking water bottle. Okay? He was made fun of and scrupulized for like 20 minutes while he struggled to open the lid of a water bottle. Size does not mean strength. You can make strength gains. The muscle fibers themselves can still be as strong as they were, even if the cross-sectional fucking area of the muscle fiber is not the same. So, layman's terms, you can be big as fuck. You can be a bodybuilder-sized dude. Doesn't mean that you're strong. Size does not mean strength. You can you can have strength gain, which is what Nick Hicks spoke about with Tua, is they used last year, and I've made this point over and over. His first couple years was him recovering from his hip injury. The third year last year was him gaining strength. Why? Because you're not trying to gain strength during the season. It's too taxing on the athlete's body. That is something you do in the off season. Now, once you build that strength, with that building of strength does come the muscle getting larger due to the fact that muscles tear and then your body heals it. Your muscle tears.
Opinion, or is this based on science?
Oh, my Jesus fucking Christ. It is fucking science. Google it. Fucking educate yourself. Educate yourself.
What's Cat for Life talking about here? He said he's had it. Internet's calling our QB Timu Tua.
He's calling him a cheap knockoff, I think is what it implies.
Okay. He said
that's like ordering a QB from Wish and getting Tua.
He said, nobody bashes our players but us. I had enough. Damn it. Goddamn Jets fans think they're funny. Oh, well, don't worry about them. The Jets fans are probably fucking drunk, just like the Bills fans. But anyway,
it might be concussion too after this year.
Yeah, well, you can say that all you want. And again, like I said, long story short, size does not necessarily mean strength. He gained the strength last offseason. He's continued and maintained his level of strength. And just like players do, players lose size throughout the season. That doesn't mean that their strength is any way affected.
I mean, he
in this
talked
situation.
About
go ahead.
Tua talked about it, the rubber band effect. You know, when you're skinnier, man, you're more. That's why golfers. Look at all the golfers nowadays, man. They're all tall and skinny as fuck, and they can hit the ball a mile, man. You know, you put a fucking dude like me out there, I can only hit it about 250 yards.
If you're worried about Tua, you really got to worry about Lamar Jackson. He's the one that dropped all the fucking weight.
Real quick, Bleezy. John Daly hit the ball a mile, right? And he's a fat fuck. And Rory McIlroy is like 5 foot nothing, but very muscular. And he hits the ball a fucking mile, too. Koepka is jacked and hits the ball a mile.
Yeah, but John Daly.
You're proving my fucking point right there, Amicus. That size has nothing to do with fucking strength. I rest my case. Let's move the fuck on because Green Rat's getting pissed off because you fucking done riled me up.
It's technique. Yes, it's technique.
Yeah. But did you see Tua hit the fucking out of the park fucking swing the other day?
Oh,
fucking has a little bit of softball or baseball or whatever the fuck he hit.
Yeah, and the rubber band effect.
Yeah, he'll be a little more twitchy and have some bend, but that might come at a cost. Is all I'm saying.
Now,
and he batted right-handed.
I can agree. I can agree to this, Amicus, but I can agree that yes, as far as absorbing damage to the rest of his body, yes, I can agree to that.
I think that's complete bullshit because your fat doesn't mean that it's fucking hurts less.
No,
you're damaged less.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying the propensity, again, now we all know that, again, fat is a fucking protector for vital organs and bones and whatnot. Does that necessarily mean that because he's lost weight, that now he's magically going to get injured more often? No. Does that mean that percentage or probability wise it doesn't increase that? Yes, to a degree. Is it significant? No. But as far as the concussion situation, that's horseshit. That's all I'm saying.
The only thing fat would help with is if a fucking blade had a hilt on it or something and you got stabbed. If you got a big fucking belly, it would stop it from hitting the vital organ. But
you better hope he doesn't get a concussion this year, CT.
Fat doesn't change that. All the other shit. It hurts as much. You probably hit harder.
Well, I was
your
saying,
bones are more brittle.
Say somebody steps on the back of your leg with a cleat. Instead of you having a deep laceration and possibly cutting ligaments and shit with a fucking, metal spike, maybe it is superficial. You got subcutaneous fat being injured, but you're not worried about that fucking 1/4-inch spike going all the way down to his fucking bone or ligament. Yeah, it has its advantages. But again, to the degree of you're a football player, you want speed, you want elusiveness. Of course, you're going to drop weight. The less fucking weight you have to fucking carry around makes you more agile and more quick. Period.
Well, thank you for your opinion, but you're not a doctor. So, I mean.
Oh, shit. Is this, TD fraud talk? Oh, shit.
Damn. Damn.
Oh, I don't know who that is, but that's funny right there. I don't know who that is, but that's funny.
What's this show all about? Hey, man. NFL talk.
We got 122 in the room. I know all of them aren't on YouTube. For those of y'all elsewhere, come on over to YouTube, smash that like button, hit the subscribe if you haven't, hit that notification bell. Fucking educating dumbasses like Amicus on a daily basis is what this show is about.
We can't all be doctors, CT.
Yep, not a doctor, but
He did stay at a
Holiday Inn Express. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Nah, just
Or
a former exercise physiologist, now in management. But again, I digress.
Did you see the jackass at a Walmart somewhere in the U.S. that he had a whole carton full of food and stuff, went to the self-checkout, and just bagged the stuff and didn't even scan one item?
No. What the fuck?
Yeah.
See, you could get away. You could get away with that with just a couple of items.
I don't know.
You got to do the fake scan.
California, no, Michael K. He didn't even do that. He reached into his cart, grabbed the item, put it in the bag. Didn't even come close to the scanner. Just plop, plop. He just bagged his groceries.
Now, hey, hold on. All right, so let's move on. That's funny as shit. But I heard that Spidey and Green Rat have a new segment of terrible Twitter takes of the week. Hit it, boys.
I didn't have anything this week.
With Spliff, and
no, that's a personal thing. If you read the next line.
Oh,
they decided not to go public with it.
It's a little too personal. That's not.
It's not
on
public.
air.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a Twitter take. My bad.
It's a political thing. We don't need to do political on here.
Yeah, no.
Unless you want me to go political, but I mean.
I'm always down for a segment later on, but I thought it was a terrible Twitter take thing.
What's the three things we never discuss on this channel? Religion, politics, and medical.
Yeah.
No. Medical.
I like that.
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen.
And midget porn.
Hey, now.
Hey, Michael K's like, fuck you. That's all I know how to talk about.
Well, I know. There's one thing we can't talk about, and that's how you feel after a Dolphins playoff win.
Oh,
hey, just like we don't know how to talk about how it feels to ever win a fucking championship in Buffalo.
Oh,
damn. But
it's true.
Anyway, so we got. I just wanted to pull up one more. I mean, there's so much shit from all the press conferences and everything, but I did not find, Bleezy, no matter how much I fucking looked, for that quote by Mike McDaniel about the cadence and the timing. That doesn't mean it's not there. I just went through like 2.5 days of shit, but once you find it, we'll address it. But one thing that I did see in there that he addressed, and one that Anthony Weaver also addressed in the same right, was speaking about how they feel the switch from a Vic Fangio system and Josh Boyer. Granted, again, one was man, one was zone, but using the players to the best of their ability, putting them in the best positions. And I thought it was interesting that Mike McDaniel spoke about how he spoke ad nauseum with Anthony Weaver as well as the position coaches on the defensive side of the ball, understanding what Weaver's goal is, what his scheme is, what he's trying to accomplish. And it's ironic that we talked about Jalen Ramsey only having 1 or 2 games last year where he moved around. He himself was asked during his press conference about Anthony Weaver's change in the scheme and whatnot, is that he's going to do much more moving, and there's going to be a lot more moving parts across the board. However, the scheme within itself is not all that different from what they did last year and the year before, but it's more of a combination between the two. And that Weaver is actually one of these guys that aren't like Boyer and Flores, where we heard, oh, we're going to be multiple, we're going to be multiple, we're going to be multiple, but they're really not multiple. Or Vic Fangio saying we're going to be multiple, we're going to be multiple, we're going to be multiple, but not actually being multiple. Apparently, Anthony Weaver is actually going to be multiple. And I wanted to hear your guys' opinions, especially the Dolphins fans, Green Rat and Bleezy, about that. And then we can get to the other two knuckleheads.
I think it's an absolute smokescreen.
Yeah, I think that's a great answer, Green Rat. They're not giving out anything. They're going to be like, yeah, we're going to do this and that. All I know is Weaver, everything I've seen about him has been on point so far.
Well,
I think Ramsey will move around some. But he also moved around fucking with Vic too, so he just didn't do it a lot. So
I was just focusing more on when they spoke with Nick Needham, they also spoke with Ramsey, and they also spoke with the Anthony whatever Jr. and Jordan Brooks, the two new veteran linebackers we got this offseason. And they spoke about the fact that they are not playing in their typical positions, that there are times where they've had linebackers lined up in a off-the-ball safety role and had the off-the-ball safety in a fucking linebacker role. And they also talked about, and again, we know that this doesn't necessarily mean that's exactly what they're going to play during the season, but the fact that he's actually changing this shit up versus other coaches. Ramsey talked about there were times where he's playing safety, he's playing outside corner, and even slot corner. And so there are things where, again, with Nick Needham playing slot corner, playing safety, and some reports, and they say they're not supposed to report where guys line up and whatever, but they do anyway, that there were times where Nick Needham was lined up in a fucking linebacker role. I like that. Because I was talking about last year when we had the outside linebacker issues that Brennan Jones and Nick Needham, based on their ability to rush the passer and be better in coverage than an actual linebacker, would be an advantage. And I feel like Anthony Weaver is actually taking some of that, not that he got it from me, but that he's taking some of those things and going, okay, we're putting players in the position to be successful versus just hearing coaches spit out that nonsense. This dude's actually fucking doing it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he is.
I think a lot of the Ramsey moving around is going to really depend on if Cam Smith sucks or not.
Yeah, that he's going to move Holland around too, is what I'm hearing.
Because if Cam becomes solid, then that does allow Ramsey to move around a little bit more.
I agree with that because we have heard that even in the limited participation of Kendall Fuller, that Kendall Fuller's been playing pretty damn well. And if you can get Cam to step the fuck up and you can bring Cam in opposite Kendall Fuller and you can let Ramsey go all over the place, you can that allows, if you put Ramsey at a star safety role, then you can put a Javon Holland or a Nick Needham or whoever, if you're going to play that three safety formation. Say your third safety is a freaking Nick Needham, where you can put him in at a linebacker and have an extra slot corner in Kader Kohu, so you don't have to worry about a tight end or a guy who in cover or in coverage against the linebacker would be destroyed, or would destroy the linebacker in coverage. You have a guy like Needham who can blitz, but also can cover better than a linebacker. And I really like that. He said, Bills, there'll be no Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis, Trey White, Mitch Morris, Jordan Poyer, or Micah Hyde.
Yeah, you know what's funny about that? Bleezy, I'm assuming you put that.
Yeah, he did, because I was on my rant. So
Yeah.
It was fun. By the way, CT, your voice changed there. It sounded like somebody kicked you in the nuts, but yeah. Just
I walked outside to go to the bathroom.
No, I got this off of an article, but go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that the only one mentioned there that I would consider to be somewhat of a loss is Mitch Morris. Everyone else, like, good fucking riddance. Our team got better now that you're gone.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mikey, what do you think about that?
I don't know. I was just looking at Anthony Weaver as the 2020 Houston Texans defensive coordinator with J.J. Watt. They were only 4-12. And he got fired.
Yeah, and he spoke about that, and I agree. Bro, he talked about it. You have fucking COVID year. You have guys that are sitting out intentionally. You have guys that you're missing guys constantly in and out because they can't participate because of COVID. He said the ability for them to scheme and for people to understand the scheme and know what they're asked to do when they're out of the building for 10 to 14 days at a time. He said it was very arduous and very frustrating. So, I mean, I get his point to an extent, but again,
you could have one of the worst defenses in the league this year.
Yeah,
could,
especially with Phillips and Chubb. Even if they play, they're gonna play at about 60, maybe 65 or 70%.
Y'all better score a shitload of points.
And I do want to say this on that quickly, but actually, we'll let you go, Mikey. What this statement from the article that Bleezy pulled up. What are your opinions on? There'll be no Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis, Tre'Davious White, Mitch Morris, Jordan Peterson, or Micah Hyde.
Jordan Poyer. He's your fucking safety now, and you don't know his last name? Come on.
I just said Poyer.
You said Peterson.
Personally, I wouldn't even say Mitch Morris. I would say Micah Hyde, if anybody.
Yeah, that's fair too. But he might come back, Mikey. He might come back.
Yeah, it's still up in the air. But now here's the other thing. Tre'Davious White, no big deal. He goes down. We get Rasul Douglas, who played just as good as White was playing when he went down, maybe better.
Yeah. And I'm hearing rumors that we could go after Justin Simmons from the Broncos, who is one hell of a safety.
I don't know. I guess I did hear that who's the safety we got from Utah? Kincaid's buddy.
Yeah. Our
there has to be something wrong with Simmons.
Cole Bishop.
Cole Bishop. I guess he's having a hard time picking stuff up.
No, he's not. No, that guy's probably the smartest guy on the fucking team. He's not having a hard time picking stuff up. It's just he's a rookie, man. I
guess Bobby Babbage, the defensive coordinator, is saying he's having a hard time picking stuff up, and they're working extra with him. With Sean McDermott, I guess he was lying.
But no, you're not reading it in the context. That's in if they want him to start. He's a fucking rookie.
They didn't say anything about starting. They just said, how are they coming along? They said nothing about starting.
Yeah, Cole Bishop's one of the smartest guys on the team. That's been reported multiple times. So I don't know what you're talking about there. Maybe you misheard.
No offense, Amicus, but if Bobby Babbage says something about one of his defensive players, I'd kind of take his word over yours.
Yeah, well, where's pull up the quote? Pull it up.
It's that. It was on a vid. It was on. Didn't you watch his interview?
No.
Oh, well, maybe you should watch Bobby Babbage's interview then. He only talked for 30 minutes.
Send me the clip.
It's on YouTube. Go to BuffaloBills.com. Look up Bobby Babbage.
Can you at least give me the timestamp of when he made this alleged quote?
2 days ago, 3 days ago.
No, the timestamp of the video during the interview.
He said he's not trying to watch 30 minutes of a freaking bad bitch dumbass. That's what he's trying to say.
I don't know what the timestamp is. I just know what he said.
Okay.
So anyway,
but Amicus, someone can be really smart and still be stupid and not be able to apply it to football. You know, we have Liam.
Well, look at that.
He's supposed to be really smart, and it sure didn't fucking turn out that way last year when he's playing center.
And I surely don't want to pull up the fucking article about freaking about the Wonderlic scores for you, Amicus. You don't want me to pull that one up for you.
Listen, Cole Bishop, that you'll see. That's bullshit. I'm gonna go listen to it right now because I'm sure it's being said out of context.
Jesus Christ.
He's out of here.
So anyway, so I wanted to get into with you, Green Rat and Bleezy, and Michael K, you too, because it kind of affects the NFL league wide. Apparently, at some point this week, and whether it's tomorrow or over the weekend, the Atlanta Falcons and who is it, the Vikings, or who was it, about the tampering?
Well, I thought there was two. I don't think it was the Vikings. I don't think the Vikings had anything to do with it.
Yeah, it was the Falcons and whatever the other team is. That
was it the Eagles?
Yes.
Yes.
I think it was,
yeah.
I think you're right. It was the Eagles.
Yeah, the NFL deputy director, whatever the fuck his title is, said that they plan on releasing a statement about the punishments for the alleged tampering investigations this week. And they had an article during that article that quoted him. They also spoke about the fact that the Miami Dolphins lost the first and third rounder 2 years ago, or was it 3 years ago? Tampa Bay lost the fifth rounder. They named a couple other teams and the picks and the fines that they were punished with. What do you guys feel, given the scenario, especially in the Kirk Cousins saga? What would you be upset with, or what would you expect the NFL to punish them with?
Honestly, I don't know any of the story. I mean, obviously, if Kirk Cousins knew that there was tampering going on, knew the rules, I think he should be involved in it as well. I don't think it should just be the team or the trainers. But let's face it. You know, even if with legal tampering. Like Gabe Davis, the minute that free agency opened up, he was gone. So you mean to tell me that nobody was talking before that? You know what I mean?
I agree, and that's kind of what I was saying, though. In the article, they were talking about what they felt, and the individual, and I hate it when they do it, but it remained anonymous. But they are actually part of the NFL management structure. And they talked about that the NFL is aware that other teams who have been charged with tampering and punished for tampering are watching their investigation and the punishments closely, because if it's not in line with what is done previously, then they are capable of making a case against the NFL.
Yeah. Hey, real quick. Hey, I think I missed it. What did Kirk Cousins do? What's going on with him?
It had to do with his trainer. It had to do with the trainer for the Viking or the.
There was multiple. So he stated in his initial press conference that he said, "I had a great talk with the coach," and he's talking about the head coach of the Falcons and the head athletic trainer of the Falcons, quote unquote, a few days ago. which was prior to the legal tampering period. What's going on, TDR in the building?
what
What's
up,
going on,
TDR?
brother?
What's
But
good, people?
they had said that he was talking to the head coach and the head athletic trainer before he was allowed to, and that was during his initial press conference. And then, like the next day, after everybody fucking blew up about it, he tried to say that he was mistaken and that it had to have been the day they were allowed to legally tamper. And they're still investigating, quote unquote.
Had anything while they went with Penix? They knew something maybe coming down the pike.
Hey, real quick, CT, can I just say one thing?
Yeah.
I looked up the quote, and the exact quote is, Cole Bishop will be a great player. He has a bright future, but he's still a rookie. That's the fucking quote. And Babich is known for being really hard on rookies, so he's not going to praise some fucking rookie. The fact is, Cole Bishop's a second-round pick. He's a very smart kid. So yeah, I knew it wasn't exactly how Mikey put it. Complete bullshit.
Well, he ain't a starter, like you're putting it.
Hey, TDR, welcome to the panel, bro.
He will be a starter.
Hey, TDR, what's this news going around about Xavier Howard? What's that all about? You see that?
This is news to me.
Apparently,
No,
he sent some girl he was fucking. He sent her son some revenge porn. And now he's being sued for it.
You hadn't heard about that?
Damn.
Well, how old was the son? Or is the son?
This is old.
Oh, that's
old news.
No, that Spidey said that just came out.
Why is it coming again?
Well, okay, maybe it is.
Spidey
came out. I want to say I heard that.
About it.
Yeah, but Spidey still has internet from the 90s. So I mean
maybe that's the case, but that's what he said. It was breaking news, and I haven't heard of it, so I didn't know.
His AOL just kicked in. So
his dial-up.
Been out there for a while. It's been out there.
It sounds so familiar. I thought. Yeah, it sounds familiar.
CT, he didn't talk to the Atlanta coach.
I don't know. I feel it's been out for a minute, but I mean, I could be wrong.
Has. Spidey was talking about. We thought it just came out. We didn't know. I see it on Twitter. It's on Twitter.
It just came out. Miami Herald put a story out 6 hours ago.
Sun Sentinel just put out a story 19 minutes ago. Court record seeking revenge. Dolphins cornerback X tweeted boy sexual photos of his mother. Fuck.
That's fucked. But
anyway, how old is the son?
Yeah, damn.
Because if he's a minor, that could be a serious fucking charge.
Let's see.
Well, how old is Howard?
Yeah, is he a minor?
Unless he's banging a 50-year-old,
not
he's
a
only
minor.
30. You know, he's probably dating somebody his own age, which is around 30.
Whoa, this is hard. This is hardcore, bro.
Remember, you got to say allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly sent it because she refused to get an abortion.
Well, she wanted the payday.
Yeah, but that kid's a minor. I don't give a shit about that. I want to know how old the kid is.
Yeah.
They're not going to say. They're not going to say because he's a minor. They're not going to give.
The thing is,
if he's a minor, that's a felony.
If he is a minor, then yeah, that's a huge issue. Now the thing is that doesn't necessarily mean that they won't identify his age solely if he's a minor, because as a victim, he has rights. So that doesn't necessarily mean the only reason they won't identify him is he's a minor.
Well, no, it's going to come out, but they're not going to say his age and stuff till it's in open court.
No, they won't say his name, but they can say his age.
I don't even think they can say his age.
No,
say
they
his age.
can't.
Yeah,
This is all clip.
Huh?
As a victim, if it is a crime, which obviously they're stating that it is, if it's a crime, they're not required to give his age or his name. It's part of victim rights.
Well, yeah, but at some point, if it goes to a trial, his name will come out because
Yeah. But the thing is the only way his age or name will never come out is if he's a minor.
Oh no,
If he's a minor.
Yeah, the name still can remain sealed. That's what John Doe is. It's a sealed fucking name. So I'm just saying the age is separate. Though the age will come out for sure.
Well,
that's not necessarily true because they say the thing is again though, as far as the John Doe thing, yeah, they can do that, but they cannot in that same instance, if he is a minor, they cannot release the fact that he is a minor. That is a violation of victim rights.
So did they release the mother's name?
No.
That's all I was curious. Because as soon as that's released, then everyone's going to have all the rest of the information.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where victim rights comes in is they're not going to release the mother's name if they know that easily people are going to be able to go Google them and find out who's in her family. They're not.
Well, here's the problem. Somebody knows her last name.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure they do.
You know, somebody's going to put it on Twitter or Facebook or wherever.
Yeah, but if they do that and that boy is a minor, oh, they're going to get even more of a payday than they're already getting now.
Well, no, but what I'm saying was, if I knew what his last name was and I said it, there's nothing they can do.
Releasing a victim's identifying information is a violation of victim rights. So yes, you can get in trouble for that.
Okay,
and you can be sued for personal injury.
It's called freedom of speech.
Again, it doesn't matter if it's freedom of speech is restricted, especially when it comes to minors and it comes to victim rights.
All right. Okay.
Does that mean that you have to understand? So again, you do have to understand the difference between criminal law and civil law. Personal injury is different. Are they going to arrest you and say, "Oh, you did something criminally wrong"? No, but you can still be sued for personal injury.
Okay, I just read the article and they confirmed at the time of the photos being sent, he was a minor.
See, that's fucked. Howard is fucked.
And let's face it, chances are he probably still is a minor.
Well, they said at the time, so I mean that makes
he could have been like 17. Now he's 18, something like that. But still, if he did it as a minor, he's facing criminal charges.
Yeah, for sure.
Talking about Xavier Howard.
Well, if it's a court record, hasn't he already been arrested?
No, because from this, it's a civil thing. The thing is in criminal court, you have to prove beyond reasonable doubt. In civil court, you don't have to prove beyond reasonable doubt. You have to prove what is called a preponderance of the evidence, meaning something is more likely than not likely. So what will happen is most of the time, people try to sue in civil court. Once they get a verdict in civil court, they'll try to use that to leverage for criminal charges or vice versa. But it's a lot harder to leverage from civil charges to criminal charges rather than it is from criminal charges to civil charges. Point in case the O.J. Simpson, just because he was acquitted in a criminal court, he was still found guilty of personal injury in a civil court. So those are two separate things.
We should get off this subject, or it's going to go to Deshaun Watson here pretty quick.
Oh shit!
Hold on, I just read.
Yeah,
they're saying two people here are suing them.
Yeah, they named. By the way, they named the son in the lawsuit John Doe. So that's what I was referring to.
I'll read it right now. former Miami Dolphins quarterback Xavier Howard is being sued for sexual misconduct after a woman and the son of another woman. So it's not even the John Doe. It's not his mother. It's another woman.
Well, John Doe is the son, and Jane Doe is the other woman.
Yeah, Jane Doe is not John Doe's mother.
Yeah.
Right.
So okay. So that, but still, that in itself, especially from my understanding of the criminal law, is dissemination of pornography to a minor is contributing to the delinquency of a minor, which can be a felony.
Well, absolutely, and it doesn't matter if it was his mother or not. It's a woman.
Exactly, he's still a child, but the woman doesn't matter. It's the fact that you disseminated pornography to a child, which is considered contributing to the delinquency of a minor.
Yep.
So it's a felony.
Davian Howard should have never gone to that P. Diddy party.
You know what I mean? Act out there sharing those pictures, man. You start taking pictures.
I just Googled
like
it.
You better look out.
Hey, my bad. Just because I looked it up. Contributing to the delinquency, it can be a felony, but it also can be a misdemeanor. However, any sexually explicit material, any explicit material provided to an underage minor and or individual who presents themselves in such to have a limited mental capacity can be considered a Class A felony.
Well, I would listen.
Hell yeah.
In either way, like if you buy a Playboy magazine and give it to a minor, that's the same thing, right? And here's the thing,
right?
Xavier Howard would go on the fucking list. So I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not sure how.
I don't know if that's the case.
Yeah, if you delinquency to a minor and sexual anything like, yes, you will go on the fucking list.
All right, now hold on a minute. So now I read further. He did. Xavier Howard allegedly did send
lawsuit, isn't it?
Nude photos of his mother.
You'll go on the list for pissing in public.
I'm very well aware. I have a buddy who had that happen down in Miami. Who we were drunk as fuck. He decided to piss in the parking lot, and yeah, he's on the sexual offenders registry for life because he pissed in public.
Yep. So Howard, if he's convicted, he's going on the list. You know, man, there was. I thought the Bills might actually go after him.
Hold on, and I just thought about this though. Here's the thing. This bitch is going to get a huge payday, and I just thought about this because I remember watching a documentary on this. If she or whoever is civilly suing him, if they say, if we resolve this, we waive our right to have criminal charges filed against him, maybe that's why they didn't try to push the criminal aspect.
Well, first off, the settling out of court for a civil dollar amount has nothing to do with the district attorney. No, it does not. No, it does not.
Absolutely waive your right.
Not. You
bullshit
can
NDAs do the same shit.
Two separate fucking courts. What are you talking about? You're telling me you can settle out of court and still be criminally charged on a federal level. Absolutely.
On a federal level, yes.
Yes.
Not a state level.
No, I didn't say a state level. I said the federal level.
Yeah, but his state, unless the dude was out of state, if he sent those pictures to a kid in another state, then that's a whole different ballgame.
Well, I mean, that's probably what it is, CT.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. We can't. I'm not going to fucking insist. I'm just saying, I know for a fact because my ex-wife, her younger brother ended up, he was supposed to get charged with malicious wounding because he fucking hit a dude with a shovel. And they ended up suing him in civil court. They came to an agreement, and part of that agreement was that they would waive their right for him to be criminally charged as a result of that injury in criminal court, and that was part of their agreement in civil court, and he never got charged because it was a state charge. The state prosecutor would have to bring charges against him.
Right, but they also agreed to that. That was part of the stipulations and conditions. You know, it's like making a plea deal and saying, "Hey, don't give me the death penalty if I show you where all 20 bodies are."
Just because everyone agrees doesn't mean that the judge and stuff has to accept it. So
no, if it's an agreement, if it's a settled agreement,
no, that's not true anymore. The judge doesn't have to accept plea deals and stuff.
Well, no. Well, first off, the judge has nothing to do with this. The district attorney that would be bringing forth the case. But I'm just saying.
But then they go in front of a judge, and the judge could just say, "Fuck you! I'm gonna barbecue this little bastard anyhow." And
yeah, absolutely they could. But
now let's get back to football.
But yeah, we're gonna get back to
I wonder if it's the same one he gave the herp to.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Oh, was that Xavier Howard? I thought that was Tyreek.
Howard was the one that gave. Well, allegedly gave her the hurt. But
Bro,
anyway,
all the Dolphins guys have all these fucking weird fucking issues going on. What? It must be something about Miami.
Yeah, or it's just a bunch of rich fucks who think they can get away with whatever the fuck they want.
Scorndex lover.
But anyway,
more problems than us.
Exactly. CDR, I wanted to ask you and Spidey too, then Spidey hops off, but I wanted to ask this because we had a kind of emotional debate earlier about Mike McDaniel and his use of the 24 shit. And I know you've heard it. They're Jets fans, as Green Rat likes to call him. Not Spidey, which Spidey is a Jets fan, but the other Jets fan on this show. That they think it's fucking stupid and it's cheap and whatever and yada yada. And I said that it doesn't fucking hurt. To the players that are going to buy into it, great. It's a mental reminder. It's a motivational tactic. It's not really going to work with veteran guys. Veteran guys already have their intrinsic motivation. Do they need external motivation? Some may give into that, but most won't. But to try to say that it cheapens or lessens a motivational tactic, how do you feel about him, again, posting 24s in meeting rooms, having staff meetings, having player meetings set instead of 9 o'clock, it's 9:24, or 3 o'clock, it's 3:24, just to keep throwing that 24 in their face? And I don't know if you've heard Mike McDaniel's specific quote about it. If you haven't, I can read it for you. But I just wanted your kind of overall opinion on that motivational tactic.
Yeah, I mean, hey man, I feel like as we get older, the only thing that really makes us change, really like puts that core memory in our brain, is pain. And I think that we have for a very long time, maybe even 24 years, been a little lax about these things. And we haven't, I mean, people call us like how it's been, which is, you know, you get a big contract, you kind of play out your contract, then you go to a different team or you retire. You know, that's where we're a destination team instead of a fucking competing team. And I love it, man. I love putting it in your face over and over again. Dude, it's been 24 fucking years. Are you going to accept that? And I will end with this by saying I would much rather him put on that 24 all the time than being the Bills last year, hanging that Super Bowl trophy in the on the banners. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
All right, so
we're
those
just
that
trying to
haven't,
add to the AFC East titles for the past 4 years.
I just wanted to read the exact quote because Bleezy was kind of iffy about it until I kind of read the quote, and it kind of brought up, you know, what his intent was. And it speaks about, he said, as Miami looks to reach 3 consecutive postseasons for the first time, McDaniel said running from or ignoring negative attention doesn't make it disappear. He'd much rather face it. Quote, You know what's going to be said by your friends or some media members come next December. Let's talk about it now. Yes, that's not what you want said about your team. You don't want it to be said. You can't finish. You can't do that. You don't want to hear that, but whatever. What if you heard you could? Does it change anything? Let's go attack it and let's go achieve something together. That's the reason why I bring it up. Just because I know no matter how much I tell people not to listen, it's impossible not to hear the noise coming. There's always going to be noise. Whatever, just address it and let's do our jobs deliberately and with a mindfulness today that can be applied in the future. Bro, the dude.
Yeah, we're no longer hiding from.
Exactly. He said, fuck you. You want to, they're going to talk shit. They're going to talk shit.
Yeah.
Well, let's fucking prove them wrong.
He's getting
Let's be a part of something that hasn't happened for 24 years. And on the flip side of that, there are other guys who can say, well, I haven't been here for the last 24 years, but I'm here and I could fucking make a difference now.
He's
First of all, not a fucking Jets fan, by the way. So you can go fuck yourself.
Come December, when everybody starts talking about that shit, he's going to say, we're talking about this back in June, guys. You know, this is nothing new. So, you know.
Green Rat. Y'all are fucking hilarious in the back chat. But anyway, yeah, I agree. And that's where I kind of feel like it's not only is it a motivational tactic, but it's also a tactic to try to stop the possibility of a mental distraction down the road. They don't want to hear that bullshit in December. Fuck it. Let me bombard you with it now so you can harden yourself to it. Because like he said, and I think one of the part of that quote that was really important is, we know what's coming in December. So why not? Well, let's talk about it now.
You know, that's no different than McDaniel and his wife leaving food bottles and beer cans all over the house, reminding them of what it used to be.
Say it again, Mikey. You got cut off again.
What he's doing there, there's not one person on this team that was there 24 years ago when the drought started.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that whole 24, it's a shock thing. All it is it's for the fans and it's for the media to take off and run with.
No, I mean that's true, but it's also from the coach talking to the player. He's putting that player in a position where the player is saying, "Damn, I could do something here right now that's never been done in 24 years."
Guys, I really hate this, but I think Michael K is correct.
I mean, he is in a way.
It's all bullshit.
You don't think that would motivate a player a little bit?
No.
No.
I think that the younger guys
needs motivation, then he doesn't need to be fucking playing.
See, and I can agree with that, Green Rat, but I also, when I brought up this point earlier, I said, is it going to affect veteran players? No, veteran players aren't going to give a fuck. However, I do think that it gives some intrinsic or extrinsic motivational factor to young guys who, again, they don't understand the grinds of the league. They see things of, oh, I'm here, I'm happy, I made it. Okay, well, now you made it, but you're also on a team that if you want to become successful and you want to win a championship, this is what you have to overcome. And like I said, I don't think it's a motivational tactic for older players. I really think it's for the younger guys.
I think I would go completely opposite. The fucking young guys don't give a fuck. They're making their bag. They're happy. It's fuck. Oh, the team hasn't won in 24 years? I don't give a fuck.
See,
the old guys are the ones that you know get tired of losing and shit like that.
Yeah, but even the older guys that are on this team, but even on the guys that are older on this team weren't here 24 years ago either. So how would that fucking affect them either?
So that goes right back to what Michael K says. It's a bunch of bullshit.
It's shock value for the fans and the media.
Well, you guys are talking about it. You guys are talking about it as if it's like this sect or that sect is going to buy into it. I think it's just a buy-in point. I mean, it's going to be up to them whether it's important enough for everybody to buy in. I think about the Patriots and the Patriots, how they bought into this system, and these players were not. I mean, did you read Julian Edelman on your team? But he bought in. You know, these guys, they buy in. They outperform their
They bought in because they were winning.
We need a fucking joint buy-in.
Yeah.
They bought in because they were winning. They didn't buy in at first.
It's about being on board.
It's not like buying fucking platinum from fucking Mars or another fucking planet. You buy early and hope that, we finally fly up there or something.
He's talking about they're buying in as in being on board. They're like, yeah.
Right. Okay. But that doesn't happen until after you fucking start winning.
See, I don't necessarily agree with that because if that was the fucking argument, Brian Flores was fucking not winning, but everybody bought into that stupid fucking wall shit.
What do you mean, Brian
TNT takes no talent wall? Oh, that fucking everybody bought into that, but Flores couldn't win shit.
So he had a little catchphrase. I don't think fucking people really bought into that. Well, I don't care if someone's a coach or an ex-football player or whatever. Doesn't make you right or wrong. I mean, what I'm saying doesn't make me right or wrong. But right.
I started off,
which is implying that I know more than you because I'm a coach.
Talking over me.
Well, I'll do whatever the fuck I want.
You stop talking and let me talk.
Why don't you shut the fuck up?
You can, but you're a little fucking.
You can go. You can go. See ya.
But anyway.
Adios.
Hey, relax, guys.
Yeah,
dolphin on dolphin crime.
Goddamn right.
Oh, hell no.
Go be a Jets fan with Colin.
I was born and raised in South Florida. I'll smack your little pussy ass real quick.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're a big fucking talker now. Oh, yeah. You fucking, another fucking tough Florida guy. Yep. I was down there and all I saw was a bunch of fucking
I'm the guy that fucking embarrasses you in front of your whole family. Shut your fucking mouth.
Damn.
All of my family's dead.
You don't know who the fuck you're talking
I'm
to.
backstage yelling at Spidey.
Oh, you don't know who I am. Here we go. Another one of these fucking guys.
No, TDR's cool, man. Y'all break it up.
Yeah, I'm not like anybody you've ever fucking met in your life. Shut your little mouth.
Oh, yep, I'm sure.
Let me continue talking.
We're off.
I'm sure you're fucking tough as shit.
Yeah, I really don't.
Hey, this sounds
I'm fucking quaking in my boots.
Like
calm down. Hey, break it up. Come on.
I don't know many retards.
Break it up.
Yeah, dude, come down here. I will fucking embarrass you in front of everybody you know.
I was down there.
Okay, let's go. Come on.
And I fucking drove 24 hours to get out of that fucking shithole.
Yeah. It's because you can't afford it. Go back to where you are.
What? JB in the building.
What? I couldn't afford it? Why don't you talk to the guys on the panel before you open your mouth?
What the hell? Anyway, we're going to get off of that. My whole point was
goodbye.
The only thing he needs to get the fuck off is the panel.
Anyway, like I said before,
can I continue
my thing is this.
I was going to say, CT?
No.
Am I able to say?
No.
Yeah, am I able to say what I was going to say? Or is this little fucking card going to interrupt me?
Go ahead.
Yeah, dang.
I was going to say I'm a coach of kids. And so I see teams all the time. They're new, they're brand new, and you get them to buy in. Those are kids. Full-grown adults like me, somebody who is extremely competitive, who has done things in their life, they are going to buy in, but it's going to be more difficult. That's why you only have one team that wins the Super Bowl every year. You got to buy in.
Yeah.
So you're saying, all these guys come out for fucking not for their money. Dude, it's not true. Everybody's getting paid in the NFL.
And it's the same thing that I brought up earlier of saying that you and I agree with both of you in the fact that, again, Green Rat, and I talked about it earlier. I tell my fucking athletes all the time, if you don't have the intrinsic motivators, I can't help you. Now, if you have intrinsic motivators, but we find something extrinsically to give you that little bit of extra edge, not everybody's going to buy into that extrinsic motivational factor. But the ones that will buy in, what is it going to harm if, say, 25% of the team does buy into that intrinsic, extrinsic, and 75 doesn't? It doesn't hurt the other 75. They don't give a fuck anyway. But if it helps the other 25, then why the fuck not? That was my original situation with this.
That's what TDR is saying, because I've coached a little bit too. And yeah, if you can get some young players.
I don't want to hear about fucking coaching.
I know, we know you don't, but I've seen it happen. If you get players on
Who
board,
is this fucking little negative Nancy?
If they're on board and they buy
that's Green Rat, GDR.
You want to have a good roster, and you want to have a good team. Which one do you want, Green Rat? You want a good roster or a good team?
I want both of them.
I just want to win games.
You want a good team is what you want. There's a difference between a good roster and a good team.
Oh, God. Go fucking on with your goddamn Ole Miss shit somewhere else, please.
Hey, it's the truth.
There's only one good team in the NFL, and that's the Chiefs.
It's the truth, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, as long as fucking everybody's chasing the fucking Chiefs and Josh Allen keeps sucking dick, and I'm good with it. Fuck it. Hey, Mikey even said you got a fucking damn walrus in your mouth.
Well, Mikey has firsthand knowledge and experience of some shit like that, so I would expect him to say it.
Like the midget porn stuff?
Bro,
No.
Mikey said,
oh my God, my head.
All right, we may have to wrap it up on this note.
No, come on. I mean, fuck, we have been fucking 220, but hey, we got 121 still in the room. The fact that they sat through Green Rat and fucking TDR's bullshit. They sat through Amicus and Mikey's bullshit. We got some fucking dedicated fans. We appreciate it.
Bullshit, it was sitting through your monologue.
Hey, when Amicus fucking starts me, y'all know what's gonna fucking happen. So you can blame Amicus all the fuck you want.
Oh, don't worry. I'll ask you a medical question.
Oh, don't do that.
Oh,
don't
you missed it earlier, Spidey. We talked about concussions.
Nah, he want to bring up this stupid bullshit about Tua and fucking losing weight and concussions, and then I had to fucking educate him, and then he had to pretend he's stupid, even though Amicus is not stupid, but he just does it just to fucking rev my ass up because he knows goddamn right that I'm gonna fucking shut his ass up because he's trolling. But the problem is they're ignorant fucking people, Cajuns, as we like to call them. They're ignorant Cajuns out there that will take Amicus for his goddamn word, even though he's fucking trolling. And our fucking fan base is dumb enough as it on its own. And sure as fuck know that the Bills fans are fucking dumb enough on their own. We don't need Amicus contributing to it.
I do my best, CT. I do my best.
I know you do. Just like fucking, hey, I'm not going to go, hey, when you keep brainwashing the kids over there, beautiful fucking wonderful kids, but you keep fucking telling them all about how great Josh Allen is, it's fucking getting, it's a bit ridiculous. If they want to see a real quarterback, his name is Tua.
They've seen him, and they make fun of him every Sunday.
Yes, sir, because their daddy tells them to. Anyway, I love you, man. I'm just saying, just giving you shit. Anyway, but So no, I wanted to bring up the 24 thing, and then the other thing is the multiplicity of the defense. Mike McDaniel speaking, Anthony Weaver, Jalen Ramsey, Nick Needham, Jordan Brooks talked about it. All of the sayings of Vic Fangio, Boyer, Flores. I'm multiple. I'm this. I'm that. I put players in the best position. But it seems like from the interviews of the players that are out there now that Anthony Weaver actually seems to switch guys up. They had Needham playing linebacker in a linebacker safety hybrid role. They had
That's his best position. Well,
Ramsey playing, and again, how much of that is smoke and
never
mirrors?
let go of Brandon Jones, CT. Oh my God, they should have never let go of Brandon
I
Jones.
agree, but I'm just saying though, the fact that Anthony Weaver kind of seems like the guy who actually doesn't just say, and I kind of like that because we've heard from multiple fucking DCs, multiple, we're gonna switch shit, but they really never do. But in the OTAs and the mini camps, apparently a lot of these players are saying, I'm fucking playing all over the place. How much of that is cross training? How much is that intentional? How much is that actually the game plan and what they can do conversely in the scheme in the regular season? And how much of it is smoke and mirrors? I don't know, which is why I want everybody's opinion on it.
It's all bullshit. He's just trying to dangle a fucking carrot so everyone buys his fucking in, and then he'll go and coach just like fucking Boyer.
Oh my God!
Because everyone bought in.
Nah, I just think he's gonna do what Fangio failed to do, and is utilize his player skill set to the best of their ability and actually correctly use them as like Jalen Ramsey, use them as he was traditionally used under with
The
in Los
Eagles
Angeles.
love Fangio, man. I heard they're praising his skill set.
Traveling Ramsey around the fucking football field didn't work with Vic because we didn't have the talent enough to replace him not being over there.
Yeah, Fangio said he's got some competent players over there in Philadelphia.
Yeah, and the funny part about that is there are some of the Philadelphia players coming out and speaking in a good light about Fangio, and there are others who have not reciprocated. So,
well, all jokes aside, I'm trolling a bit, but I mean, everyone's going to say that in OTAs. Let's see what happens when Jalen Hurts is in the same fucking quarterback that everybody thought he was, and they go 3-5 to start the season.
Oh, Jalen Hurts is so fucking overrated, bro.
Yeah, he is.
All you got to do is blitz. All you got to do is blitz him, and he'll bail instead of just dropping back or getting rid of the ball because he can't threaten the middle of the field, and he struggles to hit his hot read.
He's tier 2 on the last deal that I just saw.
To me, he over relies too much on the deep ball because he has no touch over the middle of the field. Like
because he has Brown and fucking Smith out there. He's loaded.
Right.
Yeah, but the thing is even with Devontae Smith, and I hate to say this, but if he was out there doing so goddamn well in Bama over the middle and underneath as well as deep, why all of a sudden does it seem that Devontae Smith in the NFL can't get over the middle and the intermediate short routes? Is it his unwillingness to get hit? Or is it his inability to separate? What is it? Because
I think part of it, CT, is that they went too out wide and they spread the defenses too much that it left Jalen Hurts in a vulnerable position. You know what I mean? He didn't have that much of a blocker advantage. That's why they were able to blitz him a lot. But it's his tendency as a passer to bail. Instead of just keeping your eyes downfield and continue to maneuver through the pocket. You know what I mean? Or trying to get rid of the ball quickly. hit your check down or hot read. He just bails. That's it.
Yeah, but the question about that though is
Or he
the
can hit the middle of the
Eagles
field.
over the last 2 years have given him more time to throw than 20 or what is it? 20 more than 20 quarterbacks. So he's in what? The top 12 of time to throw. Granted, yes, I do understand not Travis Kelce, but the other one, the other Kelce retired at center, and yes, they lost their starting right guard. So they do have some fluctuations there in the offensive line. But the past 2 years, he had a fucking solid offensive line.
He did. He did. I just
And
think to
yet
me
he
he
still
has below
struggled.
average.
And yet he still struggled.
Yeah. For me, he has below average arm strength. The guy is a little bit on the shorter side, so he struggles to see over the
He
offensive line.
single-handedly lost the Super Bowl for them against the Chiefs.
And the dude, like I said, the dude is not a natural passer. He doesn't do well with timing and rhythm passing. You know what I
He
mean?
throws
Like,
jump balls out there. He just has great
jump balls,
personality. That's it.
Right. Yep. Yeah, I don't. I think Jalen Hurts is fucking overrated. He's a read option RPO quarterback.
Yeah, but what's his name? The Texans court Stroud said that that Hurts is in his top 5. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's like fucking hearing who
He
was
didn't
it?
put
I
Josh
believe
Allen
that it
there
was
either. That's
Pella.
insane.
No, right. TDR. He did not put Josh Allen in the original top 5, and then his ass got blasted on Twitter or X or whatever the fuck you want to call it. And so then he replaced Hurts with Josh Allen, but he only did that because he got blasted.
And not only that, but we talked about it the other night. Here's the thing, though. What you're missing, TDR, and where Amigus forgot is when he replaced Josh Allen into the top 5, he skipped the 5th guy. Instead of kicking out the number 5 guy, he kicked out the number 4 guy to fit Josh Allen in. So it's like,
and kept Prescott.
Like you can't even fucking stay true to your ranking itself. But on top of that, I want to bring this up. It's just like hearing a fucking Tom Pelissaro fucking list. When Tom Pelissaro, not only did he put fucking Caleb Williams in the top 5, who hasn't even played a fucking down in the NFL, but he also put Brock Purdy at number 5. And I was like, what are you fucking, you are fucking Cajun. What are you talking about?
Well, hey, hold on, CT, real quick, because I never really thought of that until you mentioned it. But that's a big deal to me, man. You're right. He got the heat on Twitter, took out Jalen Hurts, put in Josh Allen, and instead of moving Jalen Hurts to number 5, which would have knocked Dak Prescott out, he just removed Hurts altogether and kept Dak in the top 5.
I said that on Monday Night Show, bro. He can't even stick to his own shit.
Bro, he's been getting blasted for running his mouth too much the past few days.
But Tom Pelissaro, bro, is fucking one of the dumbest fucks I've ever fucking heard of in my entire life. I just, dude, it's not only that. Hold on, and I forgot. He had Trevor Lawrence at number 4, by the way, for those that didn't know. And
that's crazy.
I laughed my ass off. I was like, how the fuck do you even have a job? It's fucking insane to me.
So what was his top 5 again?
It was Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Caleb Williams, Trevor Lawrence, and Brock Purdy.
What the fuck?
Yes.
Where did he have Josh
Allen?
I
don't understand how Aaron Rodgers got there. 2024.
Because everybody, and we discussed it on Monday Night Show, is everybody expects, Aaron Rodgers got injured. He's going to come back. He's going to be like he was in his 2 fucking back-to-back MVP years in Green Bay. But it's almost like they forget the last year when he didn't win the MVP. His arm strength was fucking terrible. He continued to have fucking overthrows. He was completely inaccurate. He was being a fucking obnoxious asshole to the rookie fucking wide receivers on his team, calling them out, saying they're shit, and they didn't want to play for him because he was a bad fucking teammate. And I find that rich, and I find that hard to understand when you came in and essentially forced Brett Favre out. They talked about how wonderful of a teammate you were, but when you were in the same position as Brett Favre, you want to treat people like shit.
So let me get this right.
I don't believe any of that because when he went to the Jets, he brought all of his fucking receivers.
He put Caleb at number 3. Never taken a snap in the NFL.
I'm talking about in his final year in Green Bay when he had the 2 rookies that he continuously throughout the season and the offseason talked shit about them publicly, and they sat there and he called them fucking stupid. He called them fucking ignorant. He said they don't fucking do this. Oh, I've told them this 1,000 times.
I understand that. I heard that part, but didn't one of those receivers also come down to come to New York with him?
No, the only one that did was NVS, Marquez Valdez Scouting, who's now in Buffalo.
Yep.
I remember the biggest one I remember was MVS going to the Jets, and MVS made a comment during one of the off-season pressers.
No, it was not MVS. It was
Randall
Cobb.
Lazard.
It was Randall Cobb.
Yeah,
Randall Cobb and Lazard. That's right. I apologize.
Yeah.
Randall Cobb made a comment about how and they asked him, look, the way that Aaron Rodgers treated the younger guys in Green Bay last year, how do you feel he's going to assimilate with this team who has a bunch of rookies and young wide receivers? And Randall Cobb said, to my chagrin, because it kind of proved the point that I'm making, is Randall Cobb is a veteran who's been with Aaron Rodgers for quite some time, said, well, if they would do what the fuck he said, he wouldn't have to yell at them or talk shit about them. And for me, how do you try to justify to a young team, especially guys that have never played with you, having veteran guys come in and go, shut the fuck up, do what the fuck he tells you, or not, you're not going to fucking play, and this and that. I feel like that's a locker room cancer.
He is a locker room cancer.
And he keeps getting injured. He injured his fucking ankle again. But anyway, go ahead, TDR.
Even beyond that, I forget the exact stats, but I remember the rankings. Basically, his entire career, he was first or second in outside the pocket throws, and then last year in Green Bay, he was like 17th. And I watch football. I watch all these games, and I'm looking at him, and he just doesn't look like the same mobile quarterback. He was so mobile his entire career that fell off, and then he gets hurt for basically being a stump in the Jets, and then he ruptures his Achilles, and he's supposed to come back and just, and I look at him now in OTAs and mini, and I'm like, this dude, he's not pivoting off of his foot. He's not using his toes. He's not the same guy.
Yeah.
How could you even think that this is going to go well?
No, listen, you're 100%. Hold on,
Amicus. Real quick, I wanted to say this, though. You're going to give the explanation. Yeah, it is. The NFL believes in him because they gave him all them fucking primetime games in the first 7 fucking weeks or 10 weeks, whatever it is, knowing that the motherfucker ain't going to last the full season anyway. But go ahead, Amicus.
Well, I was just going to say, responding to TDR, that he's absolutely right because Aaron Rodgers, his greatest gift was always off script, like rolling out of the pocket.
and throwing lasers and then sidelines. And I mean, everybody remembers that one play on Monday Night Football. That you remember the play, running all the way, kind of like the Josh Allen effect, and hitting that guy like in overtime or whatnot to keep the drive alive. I mean, that's Aaron Rodgers. That's what he does. But how's he going to do that now with an Achilles? I mean, he's 40 years old, man. People, listen, I'm telling you, man, the thing about this Jets team is their schedule is super, super easy, and all Rodgers has to do is do a little better than Zach Wilson if that defense is the same. But there's a lot of ifs there.
I don't know, Amicus. That's kind of a question mark because Aaron Rodgers is going to have that, they say I can't do it, and that's going to motivate him to be able to, jump tall buildings in a single bound. I mean,
damn.
Fuck, the Jets are fucking going to win it all.
Now I will say this. You're being fucking condescending, which is fine. But I do think that plays a part in it. And we brought this up on the show. And I said to a degree that does scare me in the sense that, no. Do I think that he's physically in his prime? Do I think that he ever be what he was? No. But when he came out and he flat out said that I knew what I was getting into when I came to New York. I knew what I was getting into when I decided to come back. Because everybody fails to understand or remember that he could have fucking walked away and still had the fucking bag. Because he's injury or because of his injury, his fucking money is guaranteed from injury. He could fucking keep that money and walk the fuck away. But he also
Aaron Rodgers will throw his teammates under the bus the first chance he gets.
Oh, I agree. I'm not arguing that. But what I'm saying is when he made the comment, yeah, they counted me out the 2 years that I won MVP back to back. They said I was too old. I couldn't do it. I was losing a step, this and that. But for him to come out and say, I don't really give a shit whether I fall flat on my face or not. I understand just the same way that Robert Saleh understands, just like, and I can't remember his name, the GM understands that if we don't win or we're not successful in any way to make this owner satisfied, we're all gone.
Yeah, I'd like to say that those two MVPs back to back, that was during years where the category of interceptions still held a lot of weight. I don't think that's the case anymore. You have superstars like Mahomes and Allen that throw double-digit interceptions every single year. I mean, it's just not – I think that had a lot to do with it. Aaron Rodgers' numbers weren't that great. He just had that great ratio of touchdowns to interception. That's it.
Look, I have his numbers.
Agree. I don't disagree.
Yeah, and they're asking to be a pocket passer now. And he's never been elite in the pocket. Ever.
Exactly. Yep.
I mean, when we look at his numbers, he's never been elite in the pocket. He's ultra elite in the pocket. So I've never seen it before.
I agree.
And a lot to bet on,
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, and you put on top of that
the pressure.
Not only the pressure, because that's a huge part of it as well, but you put on top of that, you tried to push yourself for a return that I told you guys wasn't going to happen. Everybody's like, oh, no, they said if this happened and this happened and this happened and this. I said, it's not happening. He's not coming back. Stop.
Hey, CT, did you know it wasn't going to happen because you're a physiologist?
So, again, no matter what everybody thought about, oh, well, he's a quarterback. It takes a lot less stress on the body. Oh, he can adapt. He can overcompensate in other ways. He's gifted in other ways. He can do this. He can do that. Yeah. Well, just like Josh Allen, yeah, you can overcompensate with an arm. But if your fucking ability to read fucking plays and be a one-read quarterback.
Why do you have to go there? Like, what's the
because
point?
you wanted to make a motherfucking comment, and I made one back, and you don't like it. So shut the fuck up. The whole point is again, I wasn't even going to say shit about that, but you want to talk shit, so I had to throw that in there. My whole point was
simple question.
So again, I think that he's never going to be the same when you come to that. And I'm not being a fucking dick, but when you're fucking almost 40 years old, when your Achilles tendon is ruptured, you can have it surgically repaired. You can do all the rehab and everything. Now, we also know that when you turn a certain age, the elasticity of your fucking Achilles is never going to be the same. And it brings a point to what TDR said. He's not on his toes. He's not digging his heel into the ground and forcing fucking throws with the velocity he used to have. And once you get to that point, there is a point of no return, just the same way I told everybody about Xavier and Howard and the growing injuries. At some point, there is a point of no return. And Aaron Rodgers is beyond the point of no return.
I agree. Where's Doug Brown at? He's a real doctor.
I'm looking at.
Oh my God. You want to keep fucking running that. And the funny thing is, the doc and I had a fucking long ass conversation and he agreed with every fucking thing I said. But keep fucking running your mouth. I'll fucking do you a call and I'll fucking ban your ass from. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, so.
Hey, CT.
Collins banned?
No. He was banned for like 5 days.
It's a long story. Anyway, but go ahead, Spidey. Hey, Spidey, you want me to bring up the Wonderlic shit for fucking Amicus?
Hell yeah.
Is that what you were asking?
Are Wonderlicks correlated with or connected, to concussions?
I'm not taking that bait on that one, brother. Spidey, go ahead, brother. Get it.
Yeah, what was I gonna say with the fucking article?
You were gonna say how much you love the Chiefs.
Oh yeah, there was some. Nah, not gonna happen. It was just the article kind of like in summary was just that a Wonderlic score for a player is just used to boost their draft stock. It doesn't really mean anything because there have been players, no matter what position, that have shit. They've been Hall of Famers. They've been All Pros. They've been like guys like who you consider like Hall of Fame worthy type
Dan
players, like
Marino,
Richard Sherman,
Jim
right?
Kelly, Richard
Dan Marino,
Sherman.
Jim Kelly. They all scored. They all scored. Dan Marino scored a 15 or 16.
Deion Sanders,
Yep.
Megatron. There's like 40 of them that they had sub 15 scores or less. Fuck, even Frank Gore.
Yeah.
Frank Gore had a 9 in the Wonderlic, and
right,
it doesn't mean shit.
Richard Sherman had a 24, and he's a 3-time All-Pro.
Yeah, and then they had they made examples of the opposite. Ryan Leaf scored a 27. Who was it? DeMarcus Russell, who's a bust, had a 26. They brought up fucking so many fucking people, and again, the Wonderlic doesn't mean shit, but Amicus will live by the sword and die by the sword. So I'm glad you brought that up to me because that at least fucking cracked me up and made me fucking laugh. But Spidey's gone anyway. So, all right, hey, We've been on 2 hours, 45 minutes. Michael K., give us your final thoughts, brother.
I wasn't paying attention. I'm printing out my bread machine manual.
There you go. All right.
I'm making sourdough bread tomorrow.
There you go. All right, get it. If you want to get final thoughts, go for it. If not, we'll move on.
No, I'll listen.
All right. Spidey coming back in. Spidey, final thoughts, brother.
No, it was. Hold on. As part of the whole Wonder League thing, Richard Sherman scored 24. He's a 3-time All-Pro. I think there was an Eagles defensive end. I forgot his name. He scored pretty high in the. I think he scored like a 38 on the Wonder League score, and that made him a top 10 pick. And he wasn't very good. I forgot what his name was, but anyways, the Wonder League doesn't mean shit. Two of the greatest quarterbacks who ever played the game, and Jim Kelly and fucking Dan Marino scored low, and they had great careers. So, Wonder League don't mean shit. That's all I gotta say.
All righty. TDR, final thoughts, brother.
Not much. Just I don't know. I missed a lot of the show, unfortunately, so I didn't really hear talking points today. But I can tell you, the Dolphins are winning the Super Bowl, hands down.
Oh,
The end.
yes, sir. All right, Amicus, final thoughts, brother.
All I can tell you is the Buffalo Bills are winning the Super Bowl. That's the only thing I really know.
Bills down. All right. Green Rat, go ahead, brother. Final thoughts.
Well, I know this whole Wonderlic thing was about Tua, so I just thought I'd inform all of you that Tua actually paid Josh Allen to take his Wonderlicks. So that's why here's.
No, Josh Allen's Wonderlic was a 37, one of the highest of all time.
And
for quarterback.
That's because he had Fitzpatrick do it for him. Just saying.
That's your final thoughts.
Hey, his name was Mike Mamula. Yep. He scored ACT. His name was Mike Mamula. He was he scored a 49 on the Wonderlic, and he was a defensive end for the Philadelphia Eagles.
And hey, the best quarterback y'all have had in the past 20 years had a 49 Wonderlic. Fitzmagic.
Yeah. So again,
hold on a minute. I got to push back. What did Amicus say about Josh Allen? 37.
Josh Allen scored a 37, according to Amicus.
Well, that ain't even in the top 10.
Keeps forcing his first read.
Mikey, yours is more like Tua's 13. So what do you say? You're jealous.
19. It's actually 19. It's actually 19.
Pat McCann got a perfect 50. He was a punter.
Yeah.
Who's Greg McElroy? He got a 48. Ben Watson, tight end, 48.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz, 50.
Marino and Jim Kelly each scored a 15 and still ended up being one of the best quarterbacks of their era.
Yeah, they never had concussions, though. So, I mean, I think there's a correlation between the 13
there are more
Wonderlic and a
motherfucking
concussion.
concussions. There were more concussions back then than there ever was today. Stop it. Stop that,
Lamar
Amicus.
Jackson
That's
scored a
fucking
13.
stupid.
Stupidity might help the brain rattle when you get hit a little more.
Hey,
Lamar Jackson scored a 13.
It's because the older guys had fatter heads.
Yes,
right?
More cushioning, baby.
Yeah, so that's why. So
yeah,
I knew it.
Or it's fucking that they had concussions and they played with it because they weren't a bunch of fucking pussies.
Well,
but anyway,
Tua lost all the fat in the cushion that would help him stay upright. So look forward to your concussion-ridden season. This might be his last.
You know what? You know what, Amicus? Guess what? Mahomes has a beer belly. He's still whooping your ass every time he gets.
And not only that,
but Josh Allen has a fucking beer belly.
Hey, Josh
and he
Allen
whooped the
has a
Dolphins.
beer belly. He lost girth in his dick, but Amicus still sucks it.
How would you know, CT?
Can I get to
You've been
my
peeking?
fucking final thoughts, brother? If you're done with your fucking 3-hour soliloquy.
That's your 3-hour soliloquy.
Yeah, exactly. Even though I gave everybody final thoughts and you still fucking talking. But anyway, my final thoughts is this.
Your final thoughts been the whole show.
That's because our final thoughts were awesome.
Exactly. And my final thoughts are going to be short that Amicus, you'll never fucking understand what a Wonderlic score is because you've never taken one.
Taken quite a few.
Yeah, you've taken practice tests, not the actual thing. But anyway, just like
shit.
Michael K and his midget porn, just like Spidey and his fucking affiliation to shooting webs too early, a la Family Guy. The fact that I'm not even going to say nothing about Green Rat because I don't want him to come back at me. But the Miami Dolphins are going to win the fucking Super Bowl. I think that, again, I forgot. Yeah, no, I went with Michael K and the midget porn, so I fucked
That's a
him
lot
up.
of shit talk for a guy who can't draw.
Spidey is your chat GPT since your football knowledge is limited, CT.
Yeah, the funny part about that is even the chat
I have natural intelligence. Amicus natural intelligence.
Hey, the chat PT
I
and all
do.
that, the artificial intelligence is still smarter than your ass. So anyway,
I got that natural intelligence.
final thoughts. I appreciate everybody coming on. We still have 121 in the room. I know all of you guys are not on YouTube. We appreciate everybody watching. Fuck the entire show. We've had between 60 and 120 of you guys over the last almost 3 hours. We appreciate it. Smash that like button.
Greenfield Armory. Great place to go shopping.
Go on over. Come on over to YouTube. For those y'all watching on Twitch, Twitter, and all that, every Monday night, 8:30, the fucking cast is always here. We do impromptu shows throughout the week. We've kind of died down the last week or so. We did 6 or 7. We did 6 or 7 a week for a month straight. We kind of chilled out. We got about a month and a half now before the start of preseason and training camp. It's going to be a lull, but we're still going to be here. We're still going to be talking to Cajuns like Amicus and Michael K.
I thought this final take was going to be short.
Hey, yeah, you know what? I do have
my final take was short, and the fact that again I'm promoting my motherfucking show, and y'all dumbasses still can't shut the fuck up amazes me. But you're Bills fans, so it doesn't surprise me. So,
hey, you know what? I'm kind of concerned for you, CT, because you said,
as always, we're gonna leave you guys with the best fucking time. Bring it up. Waddle in the building.